Let's begin. Welcome back to Dreamworks Dungeons and Dragons. Oh man, I'm so glad to be back, gang. It's been a fun time. I'm your Dungeon Master, August Schmid. Super excited, of course. Reminding ourselves kind of a bit of who we got going on. We have the Eldoradan Trio. We have Lonnie as Miguel, as a bard. We have Megan as Tulio, our rogue. We have Marissa as Chell, a warlock. We have Mason as Moses, with a barbarian bit of cleric dip there too. We have Hannah as, of course, a full barbarian as Elizabeth. And, of course, we have Nick playing Bob the Tomato, a really fun blend of bard cleric. And, of course, we have joining us Sam, who will introduce her character in a moment. For scheduling purposes, having a fun... I'm excited. I mean, this is good. We've played this group quite a bit, so I'm excited to see what shenanigans happen.
Are you excited or a little bit afraid?
Oh, I'm actually very excited. It means I can pull off the kitty gloves. I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
Oh, that's so big.
I think it'd be nice to
super duper quick
for the
because I don't have the Asian stuff.
texting you the picture.
Yes.
It's not sending. That's why.
Did you know you could do this?
Listen in? Yeah. Oh, it's so fun.
I can play music from my phone onto your speakers.
Yeah. It's one of those things like.
I don't feel like it offers it as an option.
So you want me to switch to custom lineage database and not pick a feat with it?
For custom lineage.
I'm
resetting the just to keep it clean. The pictures weren't sending for some reason, so I'm just re-screenshotting.
Okay.
Yeah, that's
You
the one I
can
want
play
to check
things
so I
on
can have
him.
social.
That's why. It's important to know.
Very important to not have that extra 3 radiant damage.
Like most.
Sorry guys.
Last we saw you guys,
Girl sing.
you've made it out of Shadowfell, defeating, or I shouldn't say defeating, escaping Queen Mab with total baby recall, truly fixing a major part of the world. That was so, well, and not only that, making it back to El Dorado and learning that Lieutenant Aguirre, one of the top lieutenants of Cortez, was about to re-attack. You went off for an attack, wondering how we could take out all those cannons, because again, their cannons are the big... Firearms are a real problem when no one else has
You
firearms.
guys understand how much I've missed this.
Oh, same.
Like, really, in my soul right now.
And honestly, what a crazy session where Gabriel basically gave you the option of, hey, you could take them out if you're willing to take a problem. Gabriel basically clued 2 calamities in, and between the fire and the flood calamity, destroyed the common troops. But it then became a fight to kill these calamities. As thankfully, Moses being the last one holding the Sword of Temperance, this angelic blade that is slated to kill these demons. It is again, angel blades are not all created equally. You need higher level stuff to kill higher level stuff. We find ourselves right there. We are outside of the camp. Aguirre is dead thanks to the efforts of the trio. Actually, Chell, I think you were the one.
The efforts, what?
The efforts. The trio. When Bob, Moses, like you guys were dealing with the calamities and some, we had. Oh no, Bob, you were also helping take out Aguirre. Pardon.
I pretty much did everything.
Well, I'm remembering because it was our guiding bolts and Eldritch Blast, you guys were able to just, before he could run away again, just be like, nope, 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 and just pin him down.
Was this the time that I thought I had, no, that was a different time where I thought I had a different spell.
That spell where you're like, Firebolt, and you went, where did Firebolt go?
Yeah.
But we jump back into our sessions now in the aftermath of... To set the scene, you're good. You are standing in the middle of a now receding flood. All of you are like coughing up heavy amounts of water. It's an odd sight of the tops of the trees here are fully engaged, like candles, like a bunch of birthday candles, but all the like palm fronds and everything all the way down from like a 50-foot height are soaking wet, right? You know, just from the flood levels. So it's like, it looks like there's a bunch of birthday candles around the camp right now. The ground is just heavy, gross silt and mud as you guys are like covered in burns, coughing up water, marks from the different blades and tails, but you are all alive.
Miraculously.
That is pretty impressive, actually.
Really impressive.
I think about 28 hit points.
Is it like inspiration level impressive?
It is the level of you survived,
Oh, we're dead.
and I am willing to say, because I did check, that all of you can level up. Here's because I forgot to check it last time. You did do it. Here's also what I need to do. I am going to be sending out real quick the campaign link over the break. I did have to monkey around with D&D Beyond to make sure everyone can like have their characters in the campaigns they need. Because if you remember Demigods and Deities, I had to like make sure we were all there, and so I like apparently as a DM I had too many campaigns going crazy, right? So I've like coalesced Dreamworks into kind of just like one big or two big ones. So I'm going to send out the link for everyone to join with their D&D Beyond characters if you could, and go ahead and level them up to level 9.
I have a question.
Yes.
Will we get a chance to level up to level 10 soon?
To level 10? Depends.
It's a big level.
Most of my leveling, I try to use a blend of both XP and like milestone. So there are moments like if you have like done a big arc or big like character growth, I allow that just as much as if you kill a bunch of calamities, like the XP naturally can help get you there too. So here we go. I'm copying the link and I'm sending that to the. I'm gonna put it in Discord just because I think that'll be fast. No, I have a messenger up. I like never know what's gonna be faster. And Sam will text you. Oh, you're already in. You're good.
I'm the one sharing content.
Yes, I was like, I knew what one of us was. So I'm sending it to Earth Shapers right now. Just...
And then you're,
So, yes, go ahead, add them in, level them up, because we'll be going through here. It's an odd statement of, even though we're not, quote-unquote, out of the woods, the calamities are dead, any living soldiers are in full tilt retreat. It'll be probably really hard to catch them, because, again, they were in the camp when the flood was going on, so they were already kind of filtering out some of the back routes. But, you know, like, it's more of that, like, they're probably going off with Cortez back to Noctilin, to just, like, rally, so to speak. As you all, though, here in the approaching dawn, right, we are seeing the sun slowly start to creep. Pink skies are now brimming the tops of these birthday candle-looking battleground. All of you would note that the air is still very much electric with power. Calamities are powerful. You can tell, even in the short time they were here, calamities grow in power like a festered tumor that are deadly on their own, but when they can plant themselves, they truly grow. It's why you guys thankfully fought two that supplanted themselves and came here. Other parties have dealt with layered calamities, and that can get really depressing really fast when fighting them, when they can just heal every other second and send in minions. What I would say is Bob the Tomato and Moses, I would love if you two could give me a religion-based perception check.
So, wisdom modifier.
Using your wisdom modifier. I think I've told you, Sam, how I think religion should use wisdom.
Same with like intimidation for strength and charisma.
Yeah, like certain stats, and it very much depends. But my thing is a basic like religion. I feel should always have been wisdom, because religion is faith-based, not intellectually based.
Yeah.
And most of the time, because any example anyone online has ever tried to be like, well, what about when you're trying to learn about like certain histories and things? I'm like, that's a history check.
Did you say religion?
Religion. But it's like perception, as if, do you have advantage in religion?
Do you mean like...
I can't remember, do vegetarians get that or not? Okay, so no advantage right now. 14. Moses, have you yet to figure out, I know you're like in that process of like leveling up, so that's why I'm doing softer things right now, because I know we're all in that process of like, let me make sure I'm leveled up. And
so perception, religion.
Exactly. Perception, religion, using wisdom.
Should I match level? Or?
Not. Yeah, so, yeah.
Just checking. 15.
14, 15 is pretty good. You two would feel that charge of the calamities probably a lot more strong than other members of the party. And you know it's maybe not in any case of like you have like warlocks, bards, like even Elizabeth and Tulio, like they are competent enough. They've met angels and demons. You get the strong feeling there's something to be said of the power of being a quote-unquote Nephilim, right? A child of an angel that has a bit stronger connection of you come from a lineage that was born to fight these things, in a sense. On a 14-15, you will feel that something is coming that is charged in this sense. I will say a 14 won't make it, unfortunately, but beating the DC 15 Moses, you would have enough knowledge. This is not demonic, this is celestial charge of something approaching.
Yeah, I'm gonna let the group know.
Gotcha. So, like, everyone... Yeah.
So it could be Michael.
We don't like him.
Let's run.
Can he actually run
Let's tree
away?
strike. Yeah.
Can we call Gabriel and tell him to come take care of Michael?
Yeah, what's the other... we could call Gabriel, or we could start tree striding. It's
You
a
say tree stride and then call
I think
Gabriel?
tree strike.
Okay.
secondary location. Moses, you help walk over to one of these burning trees. I'm going to make a quick check to see if this tree is alive.
Okay.
Because technically tree stride does need a living...
No, we used Gabriel to get in.
Because Gabriel gave Moses those mental images, so like, hey, because the next step was we should probably head to Machu Picchu, which is being sieged, because that helps give us more natives of South America to help. Gotcha. The tree is barely alive, is how I'm gonna flavor it.
Okay.
On a check, Moses, you know you can use a charge of tree stride. It's going to really deplete, of course, because the staff isn't perfect. You would also know, as you are all getting ready to go, that, and I'm going to change up my terminology. I realize natives of South America is not the right term. I'm going to, Amazonians is probably going to be the most apt term, because the Amazon really does stretch right now the entire continent. And Amazonians from this continent of Amazonia, and there's just the subsets of the Eldoradans, the Incans, the Aztecs, and Mayans. Moses, you help clock into the tree, which the fire on top, like, and kind of traces down quickly to form a burning, like, tree portal, opening up to this tree that Gabriel gave you. It's about a mile out from Machu Picchu.
Okay.
All of you can wipe off the mud and grime and step through as you feel this celestial presence growing closer. Stepping through into Machu Picchu, there's the immediate snap of a change in climate. As again, dealing with the calamities, they made the climate really screwy. Right now, you step into freezing cold. As again, right now we are what for the northern hemisphere should be summer. This is more wintertime here, or in that sense. Everything is frost over and cold. Again, well, and this was something we had discussed a little bit last session. The Incans are running low in their siege. They have been holed up here for a while, and it is that bad portion of the year where they don't have crops to grow anymore, or at least the few crops that could grow aren't growing well. Stepping through into this, you would immediately note also that there's a bit of substance falling from the air, not quite unlike snow. Anyone who wants to can give me an investigation
Is it
check.
not snow?
Doesn't seem like snow because it's not sticky.
That's what I was worried about.
If I know what it is, can I just ask and can I get it?
Is it ash?
Yeah.
Touch it with your tongue. Acrid, burned flavor as ash is falling from the sky.
Yeah, so you have
As ash falls, settling around,
Sorry. I'm looking for one tonight. I called your
what you know is, from what Moses was told by Gabriel, because it was like Elizabeth and Moses making these checks, Gabriel let you know the tree he was sending you to is about a mile off to the south. Because he did not send you on the closer main roads, as those are roads that the conquistadors are very much on 24/7, right? Because they're getting constant supplies sent to them. So this area you are to the south, you know that if you were to head northwest, like to the left, you would be a hard hike through the mountains, but you could like basically back entrance into Machu Picchu. The idea of this mountainside you're on, go to the left. It's a hard climb, but much more doable in a small party than, a bunch of conquistadors. If you go to the right, you could make your way down to more of the roadways or the pathways towards Machu Picchu from like the other areas. But of course, that way is gonna have like scouts, guards, posts, because they've been sieging here for months, like almost coming up on a year, right? And it's getting desperate. So as the party, it's that like you have a choice of, you could maybe even go the like main pathway of just like we could stealth it and you could get a better view of like the armies, see like what you're working with. But you could also then take the like, let's go the path to the left, which is a lot, I don't want to say safer, but like, yeah, it's going to be harder athletics checks, might take some time, but you're not going to like running into an encounter that way.
Gotcha. What do you guys want to do? Oh, I have wings.
Marissa's dancing has been distracting me. I'm sorry.
I hope my fun Machu Picchu-esque.
Yes, I love it.
It's
I'm
feeling
sorry.
We got distracted.
I
mean, this
I
stuff
like
is
that
great.
better.
I am a big addict of sourdough.
I'm a big addict, right?
Yeah, so I always buy a loaf whenever I go grocery shopping.
To give you
This is so much better than
basically,
store-bought.
you've got two choices. You can head to the left, back entrance, like tough checks to climb the mountain, back way to Machu Picchu. Or you go to the right, which is takes you more on the main road, but it'll be more stealth checks. But you could get a better view of like the armies and conquistadors that are
I
here.
definitely want to get a better view of what's going on.
I would say better.
And this sounds pitiful, but I feel like we should take into account if the other way up the mountain is dependent on athletics check, Tulia will never make it up the mountain. I will negative strength. It's just not gonna happen.
Machu Picchu is not actually.
It would be that very much like, I'll meet you guys going up the other way.
Yeah, it is a siege right now. Those cliffside houses is perfect for like shoring up defenses.
Yeah.
It's that.
Yeah.
If we get a better look at the army, maybe I'm just flashing back to Moon Party too much. Is there a chance of like a big old like mudslide that could just take out an army that's on a mountain pass? Is that something we could do?
Well, that's not. You would have to go to the right path.
So like, I feel like if we shout that out and we could just drop the mountain on them, that'd be amazing.
Columbia on them.
Yeah.
I would have to say any advantage we could take.
Hey, I mean,
The
it
Moon
wouldn't
Party
be the
did
first
that
party to
because, like-
try throwing a mountain on someone.
The Moon Party successfully did that with some enemies early in the campaign.
If I hadn't been
You don't understand how I gave a lot of these titles. I wasn't trying to like be clever with it. It was that like I have 5 campaigns. I have to figure out.
You're always trying to be clever.
And I was like, I'm just gonna go like what's something that would like
Baseline.
quickly like tie in a bunch of like backstory, because I didn't want to make it too specific. So I didn't want people to hear these names and go like, oh, this is important. But like now I'm like, oh, Moses on a mountaintop, dragons under a mountain, like tomatoes grow on a mountain, like just like, oh, this is a fun little like title, like something quick.
All these ideas were compelling.
And suddenly, like every other session, I'm like, and the mountain party.
He wanted to name the Moon Party the Nephilim Party, and I'm like, yeah, I know why you didn't, because of course that's too obvious, because then we're all, I know exactly what's up with everyone in this party now.
Right?
I'm sorry, Hannah.
No, you're fine. If anybody wants sourdough starter, I am still producing a 10. I gave some away the last time we had something. to do with sourdough. I always have sourdough starter.
So we are taking the right path.
No pun intended.
Because I mean, either path would have been good. Like,
What's the hint?
no, not at all actually.
I think
It's
it's
just
too dense, so I need to like get a
Choose
different
the
when it's
But I'm like picky
when
because I'm the
conquistadors
one who made it.
before you.
So, thank you.
We head off to the right. I have to make a check.
One moment.
You guys want to know how much sourdough I made? I went through like 2 bags of flour this week.
Cool. I almost died.
I say I made too much.
I thought you were doing like a dramatic cough of like.
Not at all. I was surprised by what I rolled, and it actually caused me to choke on bread.
Yeah, so that's why I was like, oh, he rolled and then he coughed, and I thought you were being dramatic. I didn't realize you were actually joking for a second.
Here we go. Bum.
It's method acting.
I hear myself for the art.
Rendition led into.
I am an artiste. Here we go.
Pants are at my elbows.
And here we go. You all feel a sudden change in the air.
Oh no.
Moses,
Did you bring
you
Michael
hear a
with
voice. Moses. It is time.
Really bad timing.
You feel, stepping out of the Ethereum, a sudden burst of radiance and warmth contrasting the cool night air.
And the cold chills on our skin.
Michael steps out. Close-cut hair, big smile. Prophet of the Lord. I, Michael, commander of the hosts of heaven, do hereby order you to break your staff and break the 5th seal of hell. So says the Lord.
See, Michael, I would. But I would like to talk directly to the Lord. Gabriel!
You call for Gabriel.
Oh,
Michael
no.
smiles wide.
Shit!
No.
Fudge.
You just saw him.
You will hear Gabriel's voice in your ear. You left before I arrived. Where are you?
Machu Pichu!
I need everyone to roll a roleplay initiative combat. Because I will say right now, if you attack Michael, you will die. He's still pretty high level for even a level 9 party. We're gonna roll for this. Michael got a nat 20. My gosh, come on, Gabriel. You gonna lucky it? Hell yeah.
Used to be a bug.
18 plus. No, he's not the initiative one. Let me pull him up. Okay, now we'll roll
It's still
for.
disgusting, but it's not.
Still an 18 on the die, but it's not a nat 20.
Dirty 20.
Dang it, Gabriel, he got a nat 3 on the die. Okay. Dan will get 20 or higher.
Dirty 20.
Dirty 20, okay. So here we go. Miguel.
Here, August.
Yes.
Can I put in a quick thing for Gabriel as well?
Yeah.
Machu Picchu, bring Joshua.
You see, he's like, I'm hurry. Okay, Miguel, you got a dirty 20. So that's still going to be Michael going
All
first.
bad decisions.
It might be. We'll see.
All of these seem like bad decisions.
We're gonna sit around, I guess.
As Michael got a synthetic 25.
Yeah, I should have saved my lucky.
Yeah, I was thinking
But
I
it
didn't.
was spite.
You could have, yeah.
It was petty
Michael
spite.
Miguel,
You could've rolled that one.
It was
Fif-
perfect
15s or
roleplay.
higher.
15.
15 for Moses.
18.
18.
I have
19.
19. And Chell, what was that?
What was your dex?
The three of us all rolled 15s.
Oh. 3 of it?
Plus 4 dex?
Plus
You
4?
probably have more both of you, but.
I have plus 2 decks.
No, I don't have great decks.
So Chell is
My initiative
probably
is
going
technically
before Moses.
before
So
Moses.
Bob, Elizabeth, Chell, Moses. And Tula got a 15 too, though.
My dex is plus 3.
So I think Chell and
4, 3, 2.
4, 3, 2. Yep. Okay. And of course, with a nat 3 for a total of 10 is Gabriel.
Wow. That's so bad.
I'm really torn.
Go for its invocation.
Really, both of those are
Okay.
options to it.
Does William say?
I don't think just this one. Just is this one.
120 is already such a
It's cringy when you're trying to save it.
That is true. It's because he has a binky.
And sorry, I cut you
So
off
we're
because it's
binky weaning
oh,
right
just like
now.
you would use it too
And so
rarely. I
during
feel
lunch
like.
I can get a binky, but when he does,
Here we go.
it's definitely, he seems more next.
Michael is going to use an ability at the start of the turn. This is something where he can command the hosts of heaven to act for him.
Oh, right.
I don't like this.
Moses, Michael looks at you. Break it. As Moses, in this moment right now, I'm going to let you know as a DM.
Azamar included in the host of heaven.
Not all Azamar.
Okay.
It's just the fact that you're a prophet.
Yep.
It kind of sucks.
It knocks me just barely up into that.
It's that like most Nephilim actually are able to resist heaven's orders to a certain extent because it's why Michael doesn't like Nephilim to that extent, but Moses is you were always a different case. It's why they kept you alive because they knew this moment would be so much easier for them. If you choose to, you could choose to disobey an order, but and I can't stress enough, it would be a huge consequence. And I will let you know, it also wouldn't prevent the breaking of the seal in this moment. This is why Michael knew once we got through number 4 that number 5 would happen like this. So I would like to know, just you as Mason / what is going through your mind? Because Michael's using his ability, his action to basically command the hosts of heaven, right? This here's what I can do. He's really grody when other angels are around. And what do you think Moses is feeling right now?
He very much wants to resist because Michael isn't actually running heaven, but knowing Michael, just takes the staff, plants a little sideways on the ground, step, snap.
Like a muffled gunshot, the staff breaks and a second sound escapes that moment after. Moses, delete the staff of the prophets from your character sheet. As the 5th seal of heaven is broken.
You should have negotiated with I'll break it if you give me a puppy
Epic boon.
something.
That's what Gabriel's on the game.
See, Michael stops. For the rest of his turn, he doesn't have too much to do, but you see he is going to take the rest of his turn and just relish the moment.
Right?
Relishing a free action.
Yeah. And relishing is a free action. Remember, all bowel movements are free actions as well. Crying. So crying is a free action.
You've got your hands.
Oh, you're true. I should point out, when Lonnie looks me in the eyes and goes, poop, and I go, well, yep, the hag failed, so the hag with no bowels is going to try to poop. To this day, one of the funniest uses of the command spell.
You have to say that probably. And they said we should start bringing hot dogs if relish is a free action.
What is?
I was thinking
hot
the
dogs
same
and
thing. When
relish
you
is
said
a
relish is a free action, I'm like, what about mustard? Nah, don't do it.
Y'all are hilarious.
My free action, I will catch up.
Miguel, now here's the thing. I'm keeping us initiative because Gabriel's on his way. Again, that was
Like any of this.
Michael's turn. Miguel, is there anything you want to do in this moment? Again, this is more of a roleplay type of initiative. Michael had to use an ability to make sure this went down. Otherwise, a lot of stuff could have happened.
No, I'm not telling Michael to
Poop.
I know I did. I would love to watch him soil his robes.
Can we imagine? Is that something that we do?
nice white robes.
Wouldn't that be a beautiful moment?
It'd be pretty funny.
We're all gonna get struck.
I don't like that he's still here.
Yeah.
I think I'm just gonna want to kind of just start casually plucking at my mandolin and just try and be as casual as possible. Just kind of move around Michael to get a little bit spread out from everyone else, and also if we do need to end up fighting Michael, then there's some flanking going on. Like, Michael knows what I'm doing, but
Michael
I don't
will
want
take
to
his legendary
it
action
I'm
to
trying
watch you.
That's fine. I'm not trying to hurt him, but get him ready.
Bob the tomato. Anything you want to prep, say or do?
I would like to hold my action for when Gabriel gets here, and I would like to hold the action to call this man opposed.
Yep. I was sitting here, I'm like, is he going to cast something for Gabriel? Oh, no, it's even better.
Just hold you.
Just poses. You hold that. Elizabeth, anything you want to do, say, or prep?
I'm going to bonus action rage just in case.
Hey, that's smart. Yeah. Boom. You throw up a rage, feel your blood. Boom, 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 boom. Fire burns hot within you. Shell. Is there anything you want to say, do, or prep?
Yes, sorry, just finished leveling up. Can I come back next after this, just for this?
Yeah, I mean, you guys are all 15.
Yeah, and just to give me a second, sorry.
No, you're good. Tulio.
I need you to tell me whether or not my panic is metagaming. Because, again, if Michael tells angels to do things, bad things happen. So it's like, do we not want Michael and Gabriel in the same place? Because can Michael be like, give me dad's grace? Or like, bad big crap? Like,
What happens when your older sibling walks in the room and you can't say no to them?
yeah, so can I use my action to bring to Gabriel and be like, don't show up, Michael's here?
Give me a religion check.
Oh,
Fun.
good question.
I can bonus action guidance myself now at level 9.
Yes, you can. Oh, yes! So good! Wildcard rogues are so fun.
This might work.
This might work.
I should have given my bardic to Julio. I didn't think of it.
Is it too late for me to bardic? Okay.
Yep. If you learn the same.
Does the 19 work? Please, because bad stuff will happen.
Before I tell you the results, I have rolled a natural 3. You can lucky it.
Do we want a high roll? Is that...
I can't tell you the results, I can just tell you the dice number. It's a 3 on the die.
I'm gonna lucky.
It's a 15 on the die.
I hope that's good. Right.
Your prayer will succeed in getting off to Gabriel.
Good job.
You let him know Michael is here. You get back fortuitous.
Oh?
Okay?
Okay.
Chum, anything you want to do? I will say it is very smart of you to have done that
Just at least that he knows.
because if Gabriel came in, he would have been surprised by Michael,
Yeah.
and that's where bad things could happen.
Yeah. Do you know what you're doing? Thank you.
So neither of us know.
Yeah.
I mean, are you ready to go next? So
Would you like a list of free actions?
We will hold action and bonus action rage.
Smart, yeah. Like Elizabeth, at least make sure the rage gets up.
Okay. Can I slip my talisman into Moses' pocket?
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Give me a stealth, because yeah, it's more like. I mean, it's not like Michael can really do it. Yeah.
What pocketing?
So is it sleight of hand or stealth?
It's stealth more because Moses can do it for free, or like as a party member, you could allow this to happen. This is more if Michael notices.
That on a 19 is 24. Or 23.
My gosh. On a 23, I need to see if Michael can perceive that. Dumbo. Well, I mean, because
Dumbo can see God.
sees God.
I mean, all those passive
Double
perception is
kick.
31 or something stupid like that.
My Seraphim, for specifically Michael.
Oh, please don't.
Were we streaming Saturday? Like on Discord?
Michael doesn't see that.
Oh, I love it. Okay.
Yeah, it should be up on YouTube in a bit.
And then am I able to prep a spell if it goes off? Like if we...
I will say, because the act of putting something, that was an action to do that. Usually the idea of like, if you're just like picking up things, it's object interaction. The idea of having to do
Actually
it,
sneaking
I'm
into
trying
it.
to very specifically put this in Moses' pocket without anyone seeing is a...
It actually
But that's so smart. Now Moses has a talisman on, that's going to give some great buffs.
some good little ones, but still good.
Okay, at the end of the round,
Exactly.
with again Normally when Gabriel arrives, it is very quiet. He is arriving right now. You can hear the spell work of teleportation going off as normally, passively, angels, when they travel, that kind of silent little thing they do, it's something that's actually kind of hard to do in combat. It maybe takes a little bit of prep, right? Or enough, like, it's not like a one-turn thing. You can note Gabriel is using a full action to cast teleport, basically, to go to your location. Ripping through space and time, you all see Gabriel steps out of his teleportation. As he does so, a second figure steps with him. Sam, would you introduce this character and roll initiative?
Oh, so that's how you get here. I was wondering if we had to like wait for him to fly and have it.
That's very cocked. My initiative is a 22.
Oh my gosh, okay.
And stepping out behind Gabriel, very like cobbled together like monk-esque garb. He's got like light pants on, some boots, an open tunic on top, and a long brown hair into a low ponytail, and a beard cut short, but still a beard upon his face. A very, very large human-looking man with biceps the size of Moses' head.
Yeah, it's like malnourished Moses, or is this like really good?
What kind of Moses are we talking here? So Moses, do you do arm day?
As a very, very bulky man comes through.
Wayne Scott, as you step through with Gabriel, you will notice immediately Michael's face when he sees Gabriel, pure joy. He is so happy. The second he sees Metro Man, I would like the party to roll an insight check on Michael's reaction, because it is going to be a little bit harder to tell.
4.
Yeah.
I don't know where I'm going.
Scott, you just walked out and went, alright.
Alright, let's go. Oh my gosh.
Insight.
12,
Okay.
18, 14 on a nat 13.
Ooh.
19.
Shell, Bob, and Miguel. Shell, you have a choice. You have crossed the threshold to be able to insight Michael. Do you want to insight him into what emotion he's feeling, or more of what he's thinking?
Emotion.
You're choosing emotion. That is something that then all three of you will clearly see. For just a moment, Michael sees this dude walk out and looks afraid
So that was
him?
of him. True fear. Gabriel steps through. That was his turn, teleporting here, right? Michael takes his turn at the top of the order. Blinks, his face now stone. Casts teleportation on himself
Oh.
and leaves.
Michael just left?
Michael is gone.
Then why was he so happy about Gabriel being here? Or did he leave the plan changed because Metro Man's here?
Yeah, I
There we
think
go.
it was.
That is where there might have been some insight, but no, it's okay. It's a choice.
I
That's
picked the wrong, but I was like, it's so hard to
Nat
read
13s
emotion.
are so much fun to be like, well, it's what you want, right? Like, what would you rather see? All of you immediately breathe as Michael is gone.
Well, that could have gone way worse.
Could have been
Yeah.
much
Can we long rest?
Can we go to...
With a watch?
You see
We need hit points bad.
Gabriel standing here, turns, here's your sword, and points at Moses, Moses, you've got the temperance blade on your back.
I will just sort of walk up to you, just peering down, silently take the sword, sheath it on my back, step back by Gabriel.
Thanks for the loan.
Anytime.
Moses and Bob, you feel a high charge of celestial energy this was the presence that was heading to you guys earlier. It's choice. You on a 15, it's not like, well, you know it's celestial.
Does he still he still hasn't fully accepted glory yet, has he? Can I make a persuasion check to convince him to do so?
I would love that.
How high does he have to roll?
I can guidance you.
Here's what I was saying. I was ready for this. I knew someone was going to do it. I will allow a guidance and a bardic being thrown out from Miguel and Tulia respectively.
May I also point out something?
Yes, you may.
He told us the reason he hasn't accepted it yet is because he still doesn't know what kind of god he wants to be, what he wants to be the god of. Because he's not his father. He doesn't want to be the god of creation. So what is there for him to claim? That's
would we
what's
like
holding him back.
I just want him to be in charge of Michael.
I'll let you know, unfortunately that can never happen. Michael, it's a birthright thing. It's a heavenly birthright of
Basically,
Michael always gets to call that
If
shot.
we want to try and persuade him to accept the grace, I think we need to be prepared with why he should accept it.
And over
That's
what.
I think that's a good point to
So-
point out.
Essentially,
Can we make an insight about some things about him?
Yeah, because again, Gabriel isn't immediately leaving. He's not like, all right, bye.
Well, and just thinking about what motivates him, about what is important to him, just things like that might give us.
Go ahead. Here's what I will say. I will allow you an insight check. It's a higher DC because Gabriel does struggle showing emotions. He's gotten much better over the campaign. 23 is really good. Shell, and maybe it's because you did just insight Michael. It's odd because I think on a 23, oh gosh, you do so much look like your brother. It's one of those things you never really notice, but suddenly seeing Gabriel right after Michael and that insight where you're studying someone. Gabriel has that same sharp features, hardened eyes, have again his hair a little bit longer, but still pushed back in that very official manner. Your immediate insight, of course, is this is a man of power, and man is a poor term because this is an angel. These creatures don't really even view the ideas of race and gender as mortal people do, right? They are beings of light. They choose these forms for us, basically, so we can see them or comprehend them. And what you're seeing in this face and your interactions is a person who is really scared of becoming his father, having to be the one to kill Zepham, seeing a god of creation, god of love and light, abandon his children. And knowing that you were born for the only purpose of being a messenger for this person, being the literal just voice of this person, it's the question of, does he have free will? Or is this just something he's going to do again? This fear, this rationale, and you see, it's not that he's opposed to ever taking the grace and doing this, he has a huge barrier before maybe he's ready.
Persuade him to find his own voice.
yeah.
Got a feeling.
Got a feeling?
Can I?
You want healing?
No.
Essentially, my
In the
argument to
sense
him
of-
is
There's just such a thing for a
Who's the
D&D
most
party to say it.
Yeah.
I meant in the sense of healing the world,
Yeah.
in fixing and picking up the
Fixing
pieces.
things.
But I don't know what better way to phrase that.
It's
essentially
I'll let you think of it. It's not. You don't need an answer now.
Yeah,
but-
I know.
Yeah. Essentially, my urge to him is going to be this is putting you in danger, not accepting this, and even more than that, it's putting everyone else in danger to leave this open for the
I know that
taking
sounds
should the wrong opportunity
LDS, but I just mean
come.
restoring
Then
our
I'll
world
explain to
to
him.
a balance or
I think you still have some soul searching to do, but some things to ponder would be you could be
yeah, I know that too.
a god of balance
Yeah.
or a god of healing, where maybe you don't have to be the most powerful thing, but you're just keeping things in check.
Here's what I'll say. This is not a one and done kind of persuasion. The classic, I persuade the king to let me be the king now.
Yeah.
It's one of those checks where I think there is a possibility of this working. Where I will allow advantage from Shell, your natural insight, guidance from Tulio, and a bardic from Miguel.
Buffs from the golden trio.
The golden trio is going to give you some buffs here. Go ahead and let's start with the D4 and the D8.
Did you say advantage?
And advantage. That's why we're going to start with the D4 and D8 because I need to see if it's possible.
D4 and D8.
You got this, my guy.
D4 and D8 to add to your natural persuasion.
Is your natural persuasion?
Plus 10.
Yeah.
Already plus 10. I mean, bards, man, they're good.
I know, but I'm sure it's probably
So
like 30.
plus 14.
Plus 14.
So that's 24.
Oh,
You have
plus 14 total.
Plus 14 total.
Yeah.
You have advantage, of course. I will let you know. This will be the first of maybe a couple checks.
Okay.
It is a DC 35.
Okay.
This is more than near impossible. He has a huge, I mean, what you
Which is impossible, right? Because he only has a 14.
He has a 14. You would need a 20 with advantage.
Okay. Fair enough.
And again, there are things that can eventually bring down these DCs, but these are think over time. It's like in this moment, you could knock down a big wall,
Yeah.
or it might start the process.
Okay.
On 20.
Nat 20.
Nat 30. No, I'm just kidding. That's a 17.
Constance gets you so far.
You were the one person in the room who could convince me on a 20-sided die you rolled a 30.
Honestly.
Shows that. Holy crap, that's just 30.
I use a
Holy crap.
So
D100
31.
for my students.
31
So,
is still insane. Again, this is not one of those DC checks where it's a pass-fail.
Yeah.
There's stages, and you did not fail by a big enough stage. There could have been something that Gabriel could have put up walls. You say this, and you see Gabriel will kind of like let you say this piece. I appreciate the sentiment and faith in me. For the time being, I have hidden the grace. A place only I can get it, where Michael could not command me to get it from him.
Oh. Okay, cool.
But I will not take it yet.
What
Fair
are
enough.
you waiting for? Here we are.
You see, he kind of stops. Clarity.
Clarity that
Speaking
we're
of-
worth saving or personal.
He kind of pushes by that concept as he goes, I have a favor to ask of you. And you see he gestures to Metro Man. Wayne Scott is like a couple of you. He is a Nephilim. There's much I can't say about his origin and his life. But as Nephilim, you have magics and abilities to search deeper. Bob, you have that flashback to when you were able, with your party's help, kind of push into your mind. I will let you know it is specifically because Moses was helping.
Yeah.
When Nephilim work together, Nephilim can dive into their own pasts a little bit. The only reason it worked is because Minareth and Valka and Gingy were helping Adora. It's very fortuitous. For the longest time, Metro Man's been the only Nephilim without another Nephilim in a party, so it's been hard to do so. And I will say, this isn't even like something I made up as a DM to explain, oh, this is why Sam's here now. This is actually a mechanic I've had for a while. Like, I mean, you see with Bob and with Adora. So you see, Gabriel kind of gestures toward Metro Man. It will take time, of course, as you know, you don't get everything in a run.
Yeah.
But it would be helpful, I believe, if Wayne Scott could understand why Michael does not appreciate the Raphaelian Nephilim.
Knew it, dude. Raphael, you're so powerful. Of course it's Raphael.
Raphael.
That makes a lot of sense.
I'm taking this host by the reins. The cadence made me think of Raphael.
Yeah,
So-
that's exactly what I was going for.
So you see, Gabriel kind of looks at you, and you see, he does look at each of it. It's not just like Bob and Moses, like Elizabeth, Chell, Tulio, Miguel. Gabriel looks to you guys. We need allies, and we need clarity in the upcoming days. We are at a crossroads where now the hunt begins for Cain. But this hunt could take anywhere from weeks to decades. Cain has not been seen since the Second Age began. So we have time.
Are we putting Cain as our big hairy friend, or is that's just us?
Here's the thing. There is a bit of lore how I've worked in Tridramore. What another party has figured out. Waldo is another name he's been known by.
Here it is.
Because guess what? Where's Waldo's Dreamworks canon? And so
absurd.
it's absurd. So the idea of a mysterious man, yeah, the Yeti, the Bigfoot, the Waldo, like a cryptid who people always claim to have seen, or there's legends about it, but there's never been proof.
That's a bad idea.
No, so you see, like, and Gabriel would let you know, Cain is a being who knew from the second he was marked with the sixth seal that he was to die at the last day. And he has spent 3,000 years preparing for this. Even with Michael now sending the entire host of heaven, and you see Gabriel winces, and you immediately know he's receiving orders probably in his ear. Every angel of heaven has been commanded to find Cain, and that could still take decades.
Wow.
Mourn the loss of the staff of the prophets, but breathe easier that we may now have truly time to act before Armageddon.
Speaking of, do you have a weapon at all?
I have my angel mace.
The angelic mace.
I'm gonna ask Gabriel if you can take the staff, the mace, and potentially use the grace to mend me.
I will let you know two things. You see Gabriel nods, just, it is not impossible. But two things would need to occur.
Alright.
I would need to be integrated with the grace, or risk destroying the staff and mace forever. True creation is hard to handle. The second thing that would have to occur is you would need to commune, as Adam did when he created this staff.
Okay.
And even I don't know what Adam did to create this staff. Like, you know, physically, he carved it out of the tree of life. Like, you have seen the notch in the tree where it was pulled. Adam, the first prophet, the first man, made this staff in a way that even Gabriel, a man who sees very much, does not know how. So you see, he kind of gives that of like, keep the pieces, as he will hand you the two pieces, Moses, so you may keep them. But that is something had to. That was Michael's order. Michael basically gave an order, and if Moses disagreed, I'll let you know now. You would probably need to roll up a new character, as I would have gotten a tiefling prophet who would have burned away every oath of celestial divination. You know what Dark Lilith was? Something very similar to that, of a creature now bound by the darkest of oaths, cast out and damned by heaven.
We're not doing a second side quest to fix the
We're
character.
not doing another side quest
That
yet.
happened once. I refuse to have 2 nickels on that.
2 nickels. Find a nickel for every time we had a dark version of character come back. No, it's well, because it's you know what happened when angels disobey orders; they become devils. I mean, that's what happens. Literally damned. So it's honestly, it's a much more cost-effective, like, hey, yeah, the seal is broken, but we keep Moses, and Gabriel agrees. It's not impossible with the staff. It is, for now, though, destroyed.
Yeah.
And of course, even if we fix the staff, we can never fix the seal. That does require 4 primordials working together.
So let's just have 3 of us become primordials and.
Hey,
We have to
don't.
use the other 3, I think, to do that, right?
Yeah, and that's. I mean,
That's not gonna happen.
if you guys know Critical Role, it's very hard to get primordial shards, Titan shards.
Do you need any like weapons? I have a plethora in my
I
bag.
was gonna say Elizabeth has been our like weapons master. Just like you've got a lot of
Stop
stuff.
at a store soon.
I've got my angel mace.
The mace isn't bad. It's pretty. It's a
Mace has
plus.
mace?
It's a +3 weapon still. It's nice.
I have like an extra great sword. I have snake metal. I have
Snake
one of the
metal's
snake
nice.
metal scimitars.
Right, because Miguel's got the other one.
Yeah.
I've got
Those are the 2 that I'd be willing to like
Okay.
relinquish.
give up.
I think I'll keep just using the mace
Okay.
for right now. And maybe when we get into a town or something, I'll see about
It's smart of like, because I mean, also because if you need like that quote unquote cash to like maybe trade in some stuff, or it's smart though. It's smart to make sure we're not like leaving
And if we're in the
Moses.
middle of like
So even
a
the
combat and you need something, I can always throw you some things like that.
Oh yeah, for object interaction, just like here.
So, I've got a shenanigan question.
Shenaniganery.
Does this interaction count as our What's the Gabriel card, or could we still ask him to theoretically drop a mountain on an army?
Here's what Gabriel will say. With that request, you do have like that Gabriel card, once a session, like, hey, how do we want to maybe utilize Gabriel if something's really tough? Gabriel would let you know if you want to like pose this question of like, want to stick around and drop a mountain. Gabriel would say, if it were not against my orders. Cortez and his armies are devoted to Zephim and therefore Michael. They are under heaven's complete amnesty and protection.
You know, that tracks.
See, Gabriel mods, I'm quickly learning life is not fair.
Take you this long to figure that out?
Hey, the man's been in the moon for like 3,000 years. He hasn't, again, talked to people very long.
That is fair.
Yeah,
wow.
Joe.
Is there any chance that you have a belt of great strength lying Please. Please.
You gotta know. Technically, yes. But it's bound into Metro Man. It's part of Metro Man's like skin, basically.
Do you have another one?
That is gross.
Would you like to ask for that? For a Gabriel card? Do you have a
No.
belt?
I don't want to change it. Unless we don't have anything, then yes. But if, I'm sure there's one more.
It's the joke being part of how Metro Man, how we're making a superhero is he does have a belt, but it costs like a permanent attunement slot.
Yeah, like I only have.
It's not something he can
slots,
share.
but it's not an item. It is me.
Yeah, it's that like he's not allowed to like take it off.
shows
A
us
bit
that
egotistical to attune to yourself.
Well,
isn't
I
it?
know exactly. That's why he lost the
I
attunement.
have a resting AC of like 23.
So
I have an
That's
idea.
Yeah.
question for you.
No, when you're
For her, with no armor? Pretty cool.
Right.
I'm not wearing armor.
Because you wanna.
No. You said yes! Don't even start with
You
me!
did.
If you got yeah,
Question.
yeah,
So he can't drop a mountain on the enemies.
yeah. It's a.
Could he do something to help the?
There could be boons, yeah, to help the ink. The natives, right?
Like the agriculture and stuff, like they're not in a good place. So maybe
It
like
could
after
be-
the fighting,
that
like,
might be
can you help
easier for him.
people
Again,
winter,
I can't explain much. There is like a role
Yeah.
thing. Like once you know what you want to ask Gabriel, it's still a role thing of like how much you can accomplish, and usually flavored as
we don't have to decide that right now. I just wanted to know if we would have it.
yes.
Air high five with the psychic
Well,
to me.
Elizabeth and Metro Man, how I saw the hands go.
Okay. So we just ask them for enough water to create our own boat slide.
But yeah, I feel like
I know the rate stuff. The idea of like
Last time, no.
that is kind of similar. I mean, it's not like he can't do it twice, but it might be harder if it's. You never know.
No, I'm just saying that could he just like gift us buckets of water?
I feel like it is.
I'm not asking for it
Just-
or for
She
rain.
wants
I mean,
the
there's
size
a-
of a house about
Fun fact, because I just talked about it today.
large mansion.
There's a item called
But-
decanter of endless water. The idea of like it literally is an endless spout of water.
I just had it and I gave it.
Measurement gave it to
I
him.
literally just gave it away.
It was well, but a very good cause.
It was
He gave it to Glimmer and Bow. Their party ran into them. They're on their way to Ilvanor. The princesses are gathering.
That means no shittery should be happening in Ildanor because there's NPCs that should be helping, right?
That Megan just used the word shittery because
I love. Yes, measurement.
So
Right?
he,
Every time
Scott's
you go
been
back
kind
to
of standing in the
Fallen Park,
background, watching all this, and when he hears talk of dropping a mountain, he does kind of perk up and step forward.
Because
Ooh, this is me.
Can you carry a mountain?
I have done it before,
What?
and if it's just a rock slide you need, I could do that.
So we're still doing
With
the
my eyes
scouting, but
closed.
like
fun fact, if it wasn't for the fact that Sam rolled a
Might be
6, 5, 4, 3, and 2.
I would have been able
My
to
dude,
drop a mountain.
you action surge, you did it twice, you had lucky points and inspiration. It's wild that it
I
didn't
didn't
succeed,
roll
actually.
above a 7.
But I mean, the mountain was apparently very unstable to begin with, is how we
so
flavored
just
it.
crumbled into a huge rock slide that could have killed me.
It's,
So I can do that.
so my suggestion is that we as a party finish doing the scouting and like decide how we want to deal with the army, and then keep the Gabriel card for like again if we need to make sure that people can like feed themselves through the winter and stuff. That like maybe he can help with that.
yeah. Alright. And of course, we can keep on the
It does help.
tail, a belt of giant strength.
That would be great.
Because I mean, even the most basic belt of giant strength would get Chell a strength score of 19, legally allowing her to multiclass. We would have 4 barbarians. It'd be so fun. It would actually be wild. The idea of 4 barbarians all just into
Okay,
that.
why? Because we have barbarians and support.
We only have one pure barbarian though, because the other 3 are all multi.
Barbarian, multiclass.
Which is a fun
It's like
flavor.
a fun like gradient of like full, mostly partial, and like dip.
I don't She's still trying to become a dragon, so as soon as that's an option, guys, step in. But
Yeah, I'm dealing.
she's free for the ride.
Yeah.
This is a very, very metagaming question.
Yeah, go for it.
We could ask Gabriel for the belt and then to see if there was somewhere he could plop us where we could gain a lot of practice hiding people.
Isn't that just right here? Isn't that just right here?
Right here.
Fighting a bunch of people? There's a whole army of conquistadors.
The idea of like a training area, something to
She wants
grind, maybe some XP.
To be
We
fair,
spend a month in a siege.
well, here's the thing. To be fair, August is letting every party do like one just.
I do it once per campaign
And so
downtime
no,
training
just deal
arc.
with this encounter and disperse the armies, and then chill in whatever stronghold the
Again, Machu Picchu is a strong.
they just have. It's like we could spend the time there to maybe do our level at level 10.
Yeah.
But like
I like that.
I don't feel
Sorry.
like right now it's time for like
Because
anything.
even us working through the conquistadors for a month count as
If you can take care of this siege, I can assure you there'll probably be a level up. This is not like Aguiar where it was just a dude with like a
but
little
it also
cannon.
wouldn't count against our training
I have a
model.
legion here.
So then talk to me about this belt.
This is like
Talk to me about that.
So
Here's the
you
thing:
could do
asking
that.
for magic items is
also downtime.
asking for magic items is of course something you again you can in theory ask Gabriel anything. It comes down to rolls. Like you can ask him to do something he can't
Well,
do, but it's part of the rules of
I'm
like.
sure the roll is really great. Here it is. Whatever. Here's where it could be.
Or
here's where
it could be like no, but here it is. Here's something like it. Here's something like it's a gradient, right? It's a percentile roll. It's not like a D20 easy. Oh well, that's a
So
17.
from what I'm hearing is you can actually drop a mountain on the conquistadors.
Yes.
Yes.
If you guys help, yeah.
So
Again, we haven't done the scouting to see if
While
we're even in a
Gabriel's
position
here,
where that
can
would
he
be
give
possible
any
for
insight
us.
into
That is
the
We gotta just
culture
destroy it and
and
see where
religion
they're
and
at.
that kind of thing in Machu Picchu?
Yes, he definitely can.
Are you trying to become a god?
Stuff to be done.
Gabriel will point out
Yeah, don't do that. We're in trouble.
yeah.
that
Didn't we do it again in this campaign where you guys pretended to be
Oh,
I can tell you
that was
right
me and
now
Hannah.
That was you and Hannah. That's what it was.
that
That's
was
before-
you pretended to be Egyptian gods there for
Well, I wasn't pretending to be God. I was pretending to be like a spokesperson, right?
I don't know what
you were well. Elizabeth was a guy, and you were supposed to.
happened?
Hey, honestly, it's an adjacent crime.
Yeah.
Court of law would still find it for that. Here's the thing.
That's okay. Ra is canonically in Merlin's pocket somewhere.
There is the two gods of again.
Erase my brain.
The Amazonians worship a wide pantheon, where overall there's about 12, and this is something I've changed a little bit from true mythology. There's about 12 that all of them worship, but each place has different ones. Like for El Dorado, it's Inti, right? I mean, the bird companion, Sun and Gold, it's a very obvious one. Machu Picchu is home to two major gods, Apus, the god of the mountains, and Pachacamac, the god of
I'm
earthquakes.
sorry. That was me. I realized.
The god of earthquakes, Pachacamac, is the god that technically Tulio pretended to be. And Wasicamayac is what Miguel pretended to be, the god of home. But the Incans, not that they don't appreciate home, their two major are like of mountains and earthquakes, because that's what they deal with, right? Or I should say, those are the major religious footholds here. Gabriel can give that information. You see, he says, I do have to get going. Many people are still asking for me, and technically, I need to look for Cain. I can do so very slowly, but I still have to technically do so.
Can you wear like a blindfold or something while you do it?
You see, he does this. He bends down, looks under a rock. Cain was not here. Puts the rock back down, and goes, I have fulfilled my search for today.
I like you. Loopholes are my favorite thing.
Loopholes are the best. And
No, that was Tulio saying that. It was Gabriel.
you see, Gabriel's like, they're really helpful. Like, I wish I had known about these sooner.
You're doing a great job catching up.
Gabriel gives a big, breath. Good luck.
Thank you.
So.
And he kind of does that disappear before it is much more silent.
What is he doing?
It's you have the Gabriel card still today. Don't worry about because again, calling Gabriel, it's only tough when we're in initiative or tense situations where that's when I have rules because anytime if you have downtime or like a way to just go, Gabriel, you can like call in and wait for him. So you have that card today of like if we need it. Yes, Metro Man's now here. You guys have this information. And yeah, you have someone who, this is a really strong person who can fly, so that idea of dropping mountains, again, the idea of you go put a bunch of barbarians on a mountaintop and everyone goes, push.
Hi.
Should we?
Hi.
Nice to meet all of you.
Yeah,
I don't know. Yes, introductions would be fantastic. Please call me Scott.
Hi, Scott.
Scott. Hello. And
Sorry, that was worse than that.
yeah, I can lift a mountain. I guess that's an interesting fact about me.
It's like an icebreaker office party.
Yep.
Lift a mountain.
How about you?
Julia, if people start calling us gods, don't disabuse them of the notion, because we might die.
Just let it
All
happen.
We are
right.
gods.
We are powerful gods.
I'm Miguel. That is all the introduction that is needed.
If you're, never mind. I know the tomato. What should I call you?
You know me?
No.
I know of you.
Oh,
How?
Bob's been starting to spread around the word. You're an interesting person.
Well,
What can I call you?
you can call me Robert.
He's never gone by Robert.
This is
My
the same.
friends call me Robert.
This is the same energy when Braxton in another party when he first wild shaped and everyone went, "Oh, so you're a raccoon who can wild shape?" He's like, "Oh no, I'm actually a chicken who can just become a raccoon." And everyone went for the bit, sure. So Robert between how official?
I do know Moses. I have not met you in person, but
You're another
I know the prophet
name.
Yep, that's me.
Sorry.
Sorry.
The godless prophet.
yeah, that's true.
Such a cool title though.
That
The
is.
Godless Prophet.
You're welcome.
And you.
I'm Elizabeth. I am a dragon.
Jesus.
Again, this ain't like technically.
We've never seen her be a dragon.
Can I arm wrestle you? I've arm wrestled one dragon before. I'd like to add a second to the list.
You could try,
The link he
but
has. They took it, I'm like, yeah, okay.
do I want to? Probably not.
Unfortunate. Could have been a lot of fun.
I think you guys take this one, and also because everyone's low on hit points, it's nice to like take a moment to like introduce ourselves, like breathe for a second.
Can we take
She's
a
not
true
Florence.
long rest?
If
She's my girlfriend.
Nice to meet. Yeah.
So, just an idea.
Chell is just
First name Shell's
we're
on.
gonna flavor this. I hope Marissa finds it funny. She's just staring deeply at these giant biceps on Metro Man. I'm like, anyway.
So, just an idea. Being that they worship like a god of mountains, and we're proposing that we drop or move a mountain.
Is the mountain?
Do we want to leverage?
No.
Do we
We're not
want to
doing
leverage
that.
something like with their religion, or at least try to minimize the damage that we potentially do to their culture and society?
I mean, we can find out if that mountain over there is important.
Yeah.
You are
Literal
very.
rock side. We're not gonna like totally destroy the mountain.
And again,
Okay.
I was
picturing totally.
And yet, we
total
haven't seen
destruction.
like where the army's at. They might not even like be in a community
That's-
for even
it
for that to work.
there's a lot to figure out.
It's
Yeah.
just a thought.
You are a
Just
very
thought.
rock
So I-
bottom,
Let's see
It's
how the
mushy.
conquistadors are formed up.
Try to get,
Fair
and again,
Enough, yeah.
like Elizabeth pointed out, you could also try to take a long rest to start getting back hit points and stuff.
Yeah, I think that'd be a
I would
good
like to
idea.
get my hit points back.
In which case, I will need. We are a bit out in the open.
Like stealth to not be out in the open.
Well, it's not so much of stealth. It's we would probably need a watch going on, like that classic. Who wants to take first, second, third? Who's perceptively watching?
Real quick before that, I'm gonna kneel down to where is Bob on the ground by himself right now, or is he in someone's?
I feel
Usually rides around on those.
usually most shoulder. Yeah, the idea.
Alright, so I'll approach Bob on Moses. Robert the Tomato.
What have you heard of me?
Well, that you have greatly influenced reform in the city of Egypt was a large one, specifically for the Hebrew people.
Yes,
I-
that was me.
Heard you speak with the prophet of the Lord,
he gets a big head.
What?
Wait, say that one again.
You speak with the prophet of the Lord.
I mean, the prophet of the Lord is like literally.
Moses? Yeah.
Like, we
Yeah,
all speak
I
with the
talk
prophet
with
of
him
the
a
Lord.
lot.
You can do that too.
The Lord right now.
Yes.
I've also been told by Gabriel that you are quite perceptive and insightful.
Guilty as charged.
Might I take you for a small scouting
She
expedition?
was introducing everyone.
Sure.
And we thought it was like,
I will take Bob off of Moses. I will put him in my pocket.
Wait. Before we leave, I had someone else to
This is like weird sense of jealousy because he's the one taking Bob on the outing
Thank you
mission.
as his girlfriend.
Ready for this? I have someone else to introduce to you before we leave.
Bob
This is Bob Jr.
Hi! I'm Bob Jr. What's your name?
My name's Scott. This is the most adorable thing I have ever seen in my life.
This cute cherry tomato.
We're trying to preserve his innocence, but it's not working very well. We've killed too many gods and things.
Do you know that God made you special and He loves you very much?
What about here where there's no space?
Sure.
Yeah. I don't think anyone yet knows here that Metro Man has, Michael has given a ban order. No angel's technically allowed to talk to Metro Man ever.
Which, this one does a little...
So, God, he's just a little bit. Sure. He seems like, yeah. He kind of hopped right over about, did I do good that one?
Oh yeah, that was good.
Yeah.
Okay.
I really like helping people. Make sure they feel good because it makes me feel good.
That's right. And
that's
I put him back in the
Because
pocket.
it's just enough of a gap.
Yeah, we
So
might
I'm
have to
gonna
let
do
him like
this one
go
before
out
I
in the
take
world
on
soon.
that, before I take on
Probably soon. Actually,
This one's tricky because of the circle.
yeah, soon.
That was a long song.
See, Bob Jr.
Just read for
I felt really comfy in this
Also
pocket
same
here.
thing.
It's like my own little home.
Yeah, you've probably got a lot of like pillows and stuff in there.
No,
Awesome.
I just have a little like lid that I push together.
Absorbing his pillows.
But then I have to
Yeah.
go corner and then go
Whose pocket is he in?
Moses is
Okay. He just never gets to leave.
Bob the tomato has pockets. Like,
Just realizing this is not a healthy way to raise a child.
you don't even wear clothes.
Golden Bob. How well do you do
Yes.
at high speeds?
Is it?
I'm pretty sure he'd get eaten alive, and I made that.
Yeah, as long as I don't hit anything, I think I'm fine.
Fantastic. Do you have a
You're sorry.
preferred place to sit? I have kind of an open tunic here. I did send character art for Wayne Scott from this campaign into the character art in memes chat, I think is where
On Discord.
on Discord, yep.
Because that way I don't have to.
As
pay attention
very
to exactly
open
which stitch.
loose
Okay.
shirt.
Then I'm gonna do that one later before I carry on.
Here's the art. If
Because the
anyone's
change
curious.
is no space. Okay.
Oh,
that's
so Marissa and
Dude, that's the dream right
Sam
there.
has found art for like Wayne Scott Metro Man.
That's
So this is what he looks like.
Okay, if I could go.
Chell understands.
Yeah, I understand Chell's reaction.
Okay. I did not expect that.
So it's not
I'll
like
just find some secure area in there.
I'm not
Fantastic.
sure there's a secure
I will put you
That's
where
what I
I
was
put
looking at.
Baby Shen when I flew over the frozen
the
wasteland.
makeshift Bjorn when you were carrying Shen. Because that's who Gabriel used to transport Baby Shen around when you guys saved him. That was Metro Man, right?
funny.
So it's not like you can like put Bob like in this like kind of crook area. It's again like with Moses. I should point out even with Moses, not perfect, but yeah, it's the idea of now whether it's Moses or Metro Man. Like there's two options, Bob. You have like two barbarians who could kind of like carry you into battle, and it gives the option of Metro Man can fly, get high, but because that's where you excel is just above battle and can just kind of.
As I will then kind of turn back to everyone else as you're gathering for camp. I don't want to intrude on any sort of distribution of
Goods.
jobs that you have in this group. Who normally does the scouting ahead?
That'd be Julio.
Usually, yeah.
Fantastic.
Really sneaky.
Perfect. I picked Tulio out. All right. We are going to get a good vantage point.
I'm
And
going to the party before you're gone.
Thank you.
Make sure you
As-
have them back at camp by 10.
Chell, you watch Metro Man fly off with Tulio.
With your boyfriend in
You hate
his
to,
arms.
you hate that they have to
You
go,
love that to be
but
you.
you love to watch them.
you're a very small man.
Emasculating thing ever here. A small man.
Oh, this is like in the
I
platform.
want to hear that.
So So it's just for you and Bob's ears. But yeah, I will be there ferryman for
I don't have ears.
have ears.
Or bones.
Larry, I don't
That's
have
so weird
ears.
to think about. Like, I know we all knew that, but it's weird to think about.
Yeah.
We don't technically have bones.
So the next time I describe
Yeah,
Bob getting hit, I'll just describe a bone cracking sound. You all have to just wonderfully visualize what broke.
What's his anatomy?
Yeah, Metro Man, you help give a flyby with Bob and Tulia. Kind of like what you do, but the idea of, I will say, it's nice when someone can fly because it really cuts down on the stealth checks that are about to occur.
What is this?
I would like a stealth check from the three of you. As, again, Shell, Miguel, Moses, Elizabeth, like everyone's...
That's how you say Chell and Miguel together. It's
Shell, Miguel.
Chell, Miguel.
Well, because usually Tulio, Miguel, but Miguel, Tulio, Shell gives that kind of like fun little grouping. So,
The names all work very well.
as you guys are getting fun and ready for bed, you know, or that like, let's get camp ready, we gotta take a long rest, three of the party do a quick, like, hey, let's do a scout, because again, if we could scout tonight and get a plan,
That's a nat 20.
I love it.
Fantastic, because I got a 9.
26.
I have
Thank
to be a
goodness.
mom. I'm so sorry, guys. I can hear all the laughter through his door.
Oh, okay.
I didn't realize it was that loud.
Okay.
So I just want to let you guys know he can hear everything, and so that's why he's not falling asleep. He currently has one arm around his cat, another arm around his owl, and he's laying down like this. So like he's tired, but at least until like we know for sure he's asleep. Because once he's asleep, it can be a little louder. But yeah, he's like,
Yep.
so you can tell he's
You got it.
custody out here.
Okay.
Sorry, I'm so sorry. But like, I have to be mom today.
You guys, again, thankfully, because you're in a group, it's a group thing. It's not like by Scott getting a low roll, we're doomed. You guys fly out and eventually close the mile where you will see why there is ash falling from the sky. Grand war machines, the size of buildings. There are 3 of them. They look like giant combine harvesters. Big, bulky settings with wheels spiked digging into the dirt, and along the front of them, giant metal blades like mouths that swirl, grinding and crushing as byproduct spews out the back of the exhaust. These building-sized war machines are eating upwards towards a mountain city. Machu Picchu is in steps. There are 10 steps that you can see as main. There's a lot of mini steps, the idea of streets, but it's like if you were to look at a city from above, you can kind of like see the city streets, like the big major ones.
So it's a ministerial.
It's a very ministerial. But what you 3 will immediately clock, these monstrous machines that are eating away are doing so because the step of Machu Picchu, like an escalator, every so often a new step is being formed magically and pushed downward against these machines. Like there's constantly being getting closer, or like what you would see probably, Scott, with maybe more of an enhanced supervision. There are hundreds of mages, each like earthbenders to the style, boom, digging feet into their boom, crunching fists upward, boom, grabbing, boom, and building literal steps of mountaintops every other second to build into these giant steps to push downward to be eaten away by these machines in a constant rotative battle. And these people are being rotated out, like there are shifts. It is a siege of magic versus machine.
Are the machines like in a row going up the mountain, or like vertically one behind the other?
They are behind the other. So here's what you'll note. To the idea of, imagine 3 combines going up a hill. The one in front is insanely beefy. It is crunching, like this one is literally built to break the heavy obsidian, granite, like the initial stone. The second one is specifically designed to take all the byproduct, shred it, and the last one is all the soft dirt and loam and everything, and just like spill out. It is clear that these machines are interchangeable, though. That the teeth on them, they all have the same teeth, but you can see only certain ones are going. So you would know at any point they could spread out, or they could change shifts. Like, let's say if something happened to the first one, it could fall behind to pick up a new teeth while the other two push ahead. Yes, Tulio.
But if they are currently aligned, right?
In a line.
So theoretically, I don't know exactly how strong he is, but if Metro Man could just, like, fly and hit the first one really hard, could he cause it to topple back and domino affect the three of them?
Not at all.
Damn it.
Because even if, again, these are the size of buildings, right? It's a giant war machine. If you were hit one enough hard enough that natural momentum to topple backwards, in theory, is just going to be eaten by the machine behind it.
Oh.
Like, yeah, it might destroy it. It might be helpful, but, like, these machines, the giant harvester, like, attachments to cut stone, like, cut through anything. So that could be useful could they cut the machine itself? It could get rid of one, but at that point, there's two still there. Plus, and I will point out, those are the ones you can see due to just their size. All along the path is a giant encampment city that has been built. This is not like Aguirre's men. Fernando, the conquistador that is helping run this, scratch that, reverse it. Francisco Pizarro is the one here. Pizarro's men are not like Aguirre's. They have cannons, they have everything, but like the stuff you hit, like, you know, that you hit, there are dozens of those same encampments, each with multiple cannons, multiple hundreds of men inside, stretched through the valley. There are grand buildings that have been built very much in that, like, Spanish style. Like, Spanish cathedrals have been built in this little, like, valley at the base of Machu Picchu. What you're also noticing is there are miniature war machines, like the size of cars, that same principle. They are heavy, tracted tires meant to go up the sides of mountains. You would assume even the idea of they could probably go vertically, like a climbing speed to them.
This is straight up the Fire Nation attacked kind of.
It's a very vibe of Fire Nation v Earth Nation, but again, this is technology. This is mechanics and industrialization fighting literally nature itself. Again, the Incans are building walls of earth to eat away, and that is why it's been a siege. Because until those giant combines break the walls of Machu Picchu, Pizarro can't do much, right? If he sends his men, more walls come down, right? It's easy to fight when you've got the high ground, and it's not worth it to try to break through nature to go around. Again, small groups could, but again, you can be assured the Incans are very well guarded of, like, no one's coming up any other side of the mountain besides this one, right? That's how siege warfare works. So we have put a lot of defenses so it's only funneled into our quote-unquote weakest point that we can defend. The other thing you guys will see here is I will allow a perception check on fuel. Fuel. F-U-E-L. Right, like, wait, is that me? Yeah.
You said perception check?
Mm-hmm. Either like, yeah, that racial bonus of, like, you see better.
Who's all there? Are we all there?
This was like Rogue, Bob, and like Metro Man quickly flying them to do that, like, aerial.
Quick aerial, so it's not
What
going
did
to
you
take
guys
time
roll?
from
Because
the
I got one, and
I
I'm
got
wondering if I
22.
use my last lucky.
19.
I got 20.
I'll just let you guys take it then.
Okay. Excellent. Bomb, 19. These things are eating up the land. There are hundreds of acres of the rainforest that have been ripped aside for the fuel here that the trees are being put in. You will also note that the trees aren't what's fueling. This is not like a wood stove. It's not the wood that's burning and giving them power. Because as Bob the Tomato, you've probably never once thought about the mechanics of an engine or how combustion works or these ideas. But enough on 19, looking at this, a lot of the wood's being built in, but the wood's is not what's powering these. Metro Man. And all flavor says that, like, the quote-unquote supervision, but, like, you and Bob, as you're looking, you two are both noticing that, like, the wood's almost a primary source for something else. Something inside these machines
Like,
is consuming the wood to give a bigger byproduct.
like, I'm trying to make sure I understand. Like steam power, or like there's a being inside the machine.
Not steam, because again, there's way too much ash.
Okay.
Something is eating up the wood. The wood's almost fuel for something inside.
They're giant beavers.
No way, that's a case of whole. Fire elementals inside the machines?
That'd be a lot of mash, right?
Giant.
Little fire elemental.
But looking at the giant combines, that would insinuate fire elementals that are huge, maybe 20 feet tall, and that's bordering not even on fire elementals like that. It could be something entirely different.
Fire.
Like fire giants from Norse mythology.
Who knows?
I might be salty if we go that route, because technically they're here, because all the
Yeah, we know
Vandials
them.
are having their apocalypse.
Everyone.
Apocalypses.
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 Yeah. I know.
The Ragnaroks. There you go. That's easy to say.
Well, that's what they all call them.
I know, but I don't know how to say apocalypse.
You won't be able to see where Pizarro is. Probably in one of the big buildings that's very guarded. Anything else you guys want to do in the scout?
Is there anything in the city that we see that could be notable?
In the conquistadors or in Machu Picchu?
In Machu Picchu.
In Machu Picchu, heavy rotation. Again, the people that are building these walls, these are not soldiers, or you assume this is everyone. You would think that the Incans all have natural. It's almost like how the Eldoradans have this beautiful affinity as like dryads to like nature in the terms of like trees. You would assume these are what we could call genasi, or people of the earth, right? The natural affinity of stone and earth and mountaintops that are just everyone. Like you're noticing the people building these, they're like children, like maybe 4 or 5 that are sitting there that look exhausted and sweaty and tired, but are building stone and walls with their elders to push down against these men.
You might say no, because like we might not be able to like have a way to get this information. But can I make an insight check of like whatever being those two realized is like inside powering these machines? Is it like trapped or bound to that, or is it like this is a willing thing of they like signed up for enlistment, so to speak?
I would allow you to make
more like a player binding type.
an investigation check with disadvantage from now. Investigation with disadvantage because height. You would have to get closer for it to be flat, but this is something that you could keep
We
making.
haven't done a long rest yet, right?
Not done long yet.
You want a bardic?
Well, she already gave me a bardic.
Oh,
Okay.
yeah,
Can I
that's
double
right.
up?
No, you can't. Yeah, can't double
So
bardic
I've
stacks.
got bardic, and I'm going to bonus action guidance myself.
To finish up, Bob, sorry. In the city, the only things you're noticing are there are almost in that like you're realizing the cathedrals you see down in the conquistadors have been built in almost a mocking symmetry to some of the temples in Machu Picchu. As Machu Picchu, there are these 2 buildings like you would have known. They told you for the gods up there, and so you're noticing that like
28.
20 at disadvantage.
I rolled a 17 and a 15, and I have plus 13 because I rolled an 8 on the bardic, a 2 on the guidance, and plus 3 from my character sheet. So 28.
Amazing to watch.
My guy.
I'm so privileged I witnessed that.
Let me
It's
have
a
this.
rare moment.
Thank you.
You got a 20.
28.
My guy.
Okay.
Literally Chell's guy.
I made a wild card row. The whole point of it is to be lucky. Let me have this just once in my life.
That's insane.
That was beautiful.
Bob, as you're looking at the temples, Tulio, you look down this idea, because you guys talking in whisper tones. Again, you're very high up in the air, but it's not like you never want to like maybe call attention. Tulio, you look down and you see these buildings. You see these giant combines. The idea that creatures could be powering them is terrifying. what you are noticing is these combines are built in such a way that something is being kept in. These are not willing creatures, but here's what I'll give you on 28. That's insane. Whatever's inside is no one's friend. This is not a possible ally to free and be on a side. This is not a, we can like turn them on each other. This is whatever's in there is a primal force of nature that would kill everything here if it got out. As I will let you know, these are a higher form of fire elementals. These are what elemental beings could consider gods.
Oh, is this like the level of what we fought in Shelby's Bachelorette one-shot?
Those are my Desanian Titans.
Mm-hmm. But is this like the equivalent for
Step
Dreamworks?
down.
Step down, okay.
A fire god. A god. Fun fact, another party has fought things similar to this. The idea of gods of elements. It's an odd idea, but again...
Not calamities.
These are elemental. Like, these have existed probably as long as the planes of the elements have existed. But the idea of this is maybe what elements worship. Are inside these things. And they're not a... 28...
Are these things that can be, like, banished? Like, do they come from a different plane?
Possibly. They could very much be from another plane. How fast could you banish them before they kill everything? Mm-hmm. These are primordial, elemental, chaotic forces. They are not gods to be reasoned with. They are not creatures to be sided with. They are not even beasts to be turned upon. These are elements. And so that's on 28. It's really good. That's why I'm giving you a lot of this. There's a lot of play here. There's a lot of shenanigery involved that you're already noticing. But I don't know if I could stress enough as a DM or what Tulia would instinctively know. It's almost because I think it would even solve the question: why haven't the Incans attacked? Because if they let loose what's inside these things, especially the big ones, that's just instant death. So what's your options? Kill everyone or stop them until you can find something else. I think that I will let you know as a game. That's probably all you could get tonight without risking being discovered. You can come back and share this with the party in however fashion you want.
So what do you guys know about elemental gods?
I do know it's tough to be a god.
Mm-hmm. The elemental kind.
Not good.
Like,
Not good.
probably 20 feet tall and most likely made of fire?
Most likely, bring it on.
Do they... Fire elementals, do they need air?
You're looking at me like I would know this.
I mean, you know a lot of random stuff.
Fuel.
They need fuel.
They're feeding them.
So,
Yeah,
a normal fire needs air. You can smother a fire with a blanket. So, could we put something in the air so that they choke out?
I think anything that would be enough to choke out one of these would be enough that it would also kill everyone here.
If it's heavy enough that it will sink down to where they are, but leave Machu Picchu safe.
Quick intelligence check, Miguel. This is wild science for Miguel to know. Not that it's perfectly impossible, but I'm
that's
like,
fair.
I see what you're starting to allude to. I'm like,
Yeah, you're good.
I don't know if Miguel knows this. Like,
Thank you for the guidance.
yeah, guidance.
My
Yeah, for sure.
character sheet is loading. Okay, here we go. So just intelligence, arcana.
Just a quick intelligence.
That's fine.
Because I'm like,
Okay.
now. The idea of like boron and gases that are heavier than air is it's an odd idea.
That's a dirty 20 plus guidance. Can I have a bardic roll?
Sure, yeah.
Thank you. So that's a 21 plus bardic. 26.
I love getting the like D&D Beyond one. It gives me a little update where it's like, here's what your player just did. I'm like, ooh. Miguel. There's no such thing, unfortunately, in a mass-produced intellectual sense as the periodic table. So I will not allow you to sit there and go, how do we synthesize certain boron gases. Now, noble gases could be. Yeah, no. What I will say is also, I will give you a fun little science crash course in the sense of fire needs 3 things to burn. Needs fuel, needs oxygen, and it needs heat. So if you're talking killing a fire god, right, a being of fire, you got to take away a couple things, right? Because I would even point out magically, these are sentient to that extent, right? So they're not going to like being killed. An avalanche of snow could be insanely helpful. Cut off a lot of oxygen, cut off a lot of heat. You're just dealing with fuel. Make sure it's out of fuel. There is something to be said here of an overwhelming fighting one element with another. It's why you think the Incans are using earth steps, because sand is extremely potent at putting out a lot of forms of fire, right?
Right.
Think of like magnesium fires usually want like heavy amounts of sand because like it just chokes it.
Yeah, grease fire, you never add water, you add.
Exactly. Bags of sand, salt is actually one I've heard, but you got to be careful of that. Like it's usually the idea of with grease fires too, you cut off the oxygen, you make sure it's buried. I'd say Tuli would know enough of this, and so there's something to be said of if you can find something big enough to choke them all out. But also, these are inside the machines. The machines are designed just as much as to keep them in as it is to keep them safe, you would assume.
I have a 2-prong thought that's completely unrelated.
Mm-hmm.
Prong 1. If I remember correctly, Gabriel said that the Spaniards are off limits. Technically, these creatures are not the Spaniards. Could he get rid of them? Either like banish or melt them down, or like could he do angel shenanigans to just like take those 3 giant things off the playing field? Because then part 2 of the thought was like, if we can get them to handle that, then our next priority would probably be like, I'm assuming some high-level spellcaster, probably Zucklehon or somebody, had to like summon and do all the binding and shit with these things. So it's like we would then need to probably track them down and make sure they don't just like re-summon.
Or did we see how they were fueling them? Like where are they putting the trees in?
Oh.
Could we like just do something to block it from like letting more trees in?
One-way hatches are along the outside of these combines to the extent of it's not even like blocking, because the blocking might not like block, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
But the idea of this is the fuel source, it is the idea of as long as you just stop the fuel from coming in,
Yeah.
that's already going to be a big like.
Can we destroy the fuel somehow? Or
I mean,
the fuel is the rate force, and that would be
I
like
think it's more we just like kill all the people that are feeding them.
Yeah.
you could take out the people feeding them, and again they'll naturally waste away.
How many people are on feeding duty?
How many people are in a legion?
Or we could try to break the machine, just make it so they can't get anything else again. But
Break the machine. There's a lot of
either
options.
way, yeah.
It's as dangerous as these things are. I think you guys are starting to see like there's a lot of avenues for this.
Does anyone have abilities to find the commanding conquistador? Like anyone have scries or something?
I scry! I just got it!
Because if we
At
can
level 9.
locate him, I could take some of us and we can divide and conquer.
Wanna do it?
In
Did-
what sense?
However you guys think, you guys probably have much more brains than I do.
I'm thinking that's not a bad idea, but we would have to come up with a plan before we even start scrying on him, just because, or we could scry and then come up with a plan. But I'm worried that if you scry and he catches us, then we're doomed.
But if we scry and they don't catch us, we could see who's with it.
Yeah, that's true.
It's give and take.
I'm kind of
Yeah.
worried the Zyklocom's gonna be back with that. Like,
But at least then we know.
I think
which I would prefer to
Trio
know.
has probably brought up the insightful. These things were not. A normal conquistador did not have access to the planes of fire to bind a fire god. Take 3 guesses who it would be, and all of them should be Zyklocom.
What a jerk. So it's that I'm assuming he might be in camp somewhere, but having confirmation of that would be great. Yeah. she's like, is this still our like talking planning meeting before we plumb?
This is the idea of,
So I
okay,
would say use that
you guys are coming, because it's like,
now,
for Elizabeth, Moses, Chell, like, this has been like, hey, let's get food out, let's pull out the tents, let's, like, get ready to sleep. And so this is that, like, nighttime right before bed of, like, so this is what we found.
Okay, so should I scry now then?
Yes.
Yeah, the idea, because then you can get it back in the
Will you
morning.
describe him to me really well, Metro?
Oh, you've seen him, remember?
Who's the guy that we know? Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, Cyclecon, I know him really well. Okay, yes. So
Because I was going to say, you've yet to see Francisco Pizarro, you just know his name.
right. Okay, then Cyclecon needs to make a wisdom saving throw.
Alright,
He's got that disgusting sense.
That's probably true.
let's
Do you
go.
have anything that belongs to him?
Does he have anything that
Actually, he carried my coat.
I was
around
about
for
to
a
say,
while.
rather than having to find ownership with the code.
Yes.
You did technically
Here's
have it for a
Zeko
while.
Khan did have ownership of the coat of many colors. I'm going to say how scrying is flavored.
Do we check and see if we're being scried on too? Because that was something that the angel were doing for a long time.
But that's what the ambulance report.
I need to pull up a better scrying. D&D Beyond is giving me a really
The
weird.
other things that aren't like angelic or demonic you can still scry on us, but like.
Yeah. Oh yeah. The Inoki amulet is not a perfect end all no scry. It is just because it wouldn't work if it was for everything,
No, just when
or at
you
least
brought
to
up
the extent.
specifically angels, they're not a problem.
Okay, here we go. Scry. I'm checking out the knowledge. Secondhand, you've heard of the target. You have met the target, so you have met the target. And familiar. You do not know the target. Well,
I know
Shell's in the angel. She was there.
I know Zeko Khan well. Okay,
Really knows.
that's a -5. Connection: a likeness or a picture, a possession or garment.
Yep.
Yeah, this was once his garment. I mean, thankfully you don't have like a body part, which would make it really nice. So yeah, Zeko Khan's got a -9 to this save.
Okay.
What's your spell save DC?
Not what I would like it to be, but son of a butt cracker. I'm sorry, that's my phrase this week. I'm
That's
sorry.
hilarious.
I love it.
Oh, DC 19. That's not bad.
And I do.
Because the
That's really
the
good.
earrings of the
Yeah,
pack,
what's the spell
your
crackers?
packed earrings give you that amazing bonus. So it's like a yeah.
Plus,
And
yeah.
I do have one last lucky left. If
He has a wisdom save.
What's his buff?
Well, with the current minuses, you have a -9 to this. He has a +9 to this, so it is a flat roll.
Wow, and he'd have to get a 19 or 20.
He needs a 19 or 20 to save against the scry.
Hallelujah. Some luck.
It's a natural 4.
Nice.
The way you said natural, I'm like,
It made me
no.
very nervous.
No.
Okay. Scrying is gonna go off.
Okay.
Here's what
Tell us
you
what we
see.
hear and see, my guy.
See in here, modified, so he doesn't know you're being scryed on. Invisible sensor.
But this
Such a
might
move
be
within the
falls out.
target.
Yep.
Blah, blah, blah. It's not targeting. You choose a location. Okay. Okay. Shell.
Yee.
You watch. I'm gonna flavor this. This is really fun. All of you watch Shell's eyes start inking with golden light
Oh, that's very cool.
until there are these two luminescent orbs just hanging in her skull. As Shell, your eyes and ears across distances, you see the vastness of space and time bend. You are in a small room. Cortez stands next to Zeko Khan at a table. They are looking at a map which you saw a couple sessions ago, and more than a couple, like a while ago. This is the map of Amazonia, of the South American continent. As Cortez looks, you see Zeko Khan, and I can't stress enough, is doing that classic creepy henchman, hands together, hunched over next to Cortez, rubbing his arms like that. Like as he kind of, Cortez looks, you see he is deep in thought, looking at the positions on the board. Truly, it is a noble loss, my lord. Aguirre was a fine commander, and you see Cortez, Aguirre was a fool. I sent him to his death, and there is nothing more than that. As, fun fact, Aguirre and the Eldoradans, that's the least of what Cortez was worried about. The idea of, hey, go kill the stragglers who resist me, he didn't even care.
Does El Dorado have more food coming in now? I forget.
It's without having to spend a lot of time on preparation with Edgar, it's easier to send out search parties and stuff. Yeah, that's why, because now it's, if we can get Machu Picchu, that's 2 nations that could help. And you see, because he is looking at
oppressed.
the Machu Picchu mark. He's looking at the mark, which, you know, Tenochtitlan, the city that the Aztecs are in, which are now being subjugated by Cortez and the rest. You see, he's looking at these 2 places, and again, a little bit up into the North American continent is a mark of what you know to be Ponce de Leon, looking for the Fountain of Youth. You see, he's looking at these 3, and Cortez. I trust that Pizarro will be able to make his mark within the next week on the savages. And you see, he picks up a marker for armies and moves it away from Machu Picchu and moves it to Tenochtitlan. Ponce de Leon has told me that he is close. Perhaps I send you to ensure the discovery of this magically hidden dungeon. You see Zekel Khan kind of looking. Zekel Khan gets a wicked grin in his eyes, like, a most wise and gracious offer, my lord. And you see Cortez
That
looks.
explains, because we were like, why is he set up for the Fountain of Youth?
Yeah. I mean, anyone who gets their hands on that. Immortality is a great boon.
This
The boon of immortality.
double liched himself. Of course he's looking for the Fountain of Youth.
Yeah, right? Come on, liches, right?
Yeah.
Liches be liches.
Let's just be legit. I'm really over now.
You've got, so looking at this.
Yeah, that's me, this lich, that was my exact thought.
The witch, fantastic. So you see, Cortez looks at this, I'm making sure I also tell you his plans, right?
Fantastic.
As he turns,
That's amazing.
he looks at Zekel Khan. Go tell Alvarado that I want him to prepare to cut off whatever rebellion is happening that Aguirre failed in. And you see he picks up a singular token for Alvarado and places it down in the area you would know El Dorado is close to. It says, I trust that Alvarado can make short work of these heroes. You see Zekel Khan kind of grits his teeth. I mean, I hate you guys. And you see he goes, of course, my lord. Zekel Khan moves quickly out of the tent, and so your sensor follows.
When we were looking at the map, was there a token that also told us where Cortez is doing all this from?
Tenochtitlan.
Oh.
He's in his main.
He's at the main force, basically right up in the Mesoamerican area. He doesn't need to be down here. I mean, it sounds like, again, Aguirre was the least of the generals. He doesn't really care about that lieutenant. The big stuff is he wants to take care of Machu Picchu, and it's not I can send Alvarado to take it. So you watch.
So it sounded like Pizarro is on his own right now, currently.
Yeah.
Zekel
Before he yeah.
Zekel Khan walks over. Hey, this is the wrong music.
Sounds very happy.
Yeah, no, this is too inspirational.
I can carry 2 people and Bob for our shop trooper.
Yeah, because Bob's a tiny creature. Zekel
I
Khan.
like people as well.
people. Mr. the Frog, a celebrity is not a people. So Chell, you watch Zekel Khan move.
Somewhere and not stay close at level 9.
Zekel Khan's walking through a cabin. You see, he walks out into the dawn here, and is looking across.
We could also go for a big attack.
If you know
Tenochtitlan,
Tenochtitlan, you're looking at the city.
Did you look at it?
So Cho, you see, you are quote unquote on top of a pyramid right now. Those cool step pyramids in Mexico that you can go visit, but right now every other adjacent pyramid building is flying the flag of Cortez. There are crosses everywhere, the Catholic symbols. Tenochtitlan is this home base now of Cortez. Looking across the city, Zekel kind of stops, and you see he straightens up his back. You know, because when he was with Cortez, he was literally doing a very sycophantic, yes, my lord. He straightens up, just starts walking normally. Moves across the pyramid. As you see, he takes a step, and before his foot lands in open air, he kind of vaults himself and flies over to an adjacent pyramid, where he walks up to a door, gives a quick rap 3 times. You hear, "What is it?" Opens up the doors, and you see a new figure who you could assume is Alvarado, or rather the specific conquistador is named Pedro de Alvarado. This is the man who, with his armies, exterminated the Mayans.
This is a successful dude.
As you knock, Alvarado, I'm going to try to describe this not as gory as I could. Alvarado is surrounded by 4 corpses that have been ripped open sternum wide. Each of them bleeding out. Alvarado, blood all down his throat.
It just clicked.
You bitch. Yep.
Because they even gave us that lore ages ago that
Ages. Other parties know. Francisco Alvarado with pointed fangs.
Vampire.
he
licks his
literally
lips.
gave us the lore and we forgot about it.
Wipes his mouth. You're alone, yes? And you see, because as Alvarado wipes, Zeko Khan, yes, Cortez is making plans. And you see Zeko Khan closes the door behind him. Alvarado kind of sweeps back long black hair. What would he have of me? You see Zeko Khan kind of leans over, traces a hand through blood and bone of this unfortunate Aztec that was brought here. He wishes you to take care of El Dorado. He thinks the heroes are becoming too much of a nuisance. But he has decreed I am to go up to Ponce de Leon. You see, Zeko Khan says that Alvarado stops. How Taz? He knew that was my goal. And you hear like a slight whimper and look in the corner. There are like 3 other people in this room that are just hunkered down, scared. You see Alvarado. I really made it clear that I wanted to go. And you see Zeko Khan kind of like scoff. Oh, he knows, but you have no use for the fountain. See, Alvarado, that's not, and he puts one hand under his stone table, the point, poof, and throws the table. It breaks against the wall as this vampiric strength crushes. The people scream a little. Alvarado stops. If, and only if, my cousin's sources are correct, I need to know what is in that dungeon. You see Zeko Khan kind of gives, oh, it could be nothing. Do you really think that a man such as Cain would be stupid enough to leave a cave painting in an old dungeon? You see, Alvarado, it is more than a cave painting. It was the location of the last known interaction of Cain and Enoch. I know that I can find him. You see Alvarado, his eyes gleaming red, this vampire staring, and it's really freaky because he's looking at Zeko Khan, so it feels like he's looking at you, Chell.
I'm so sorry for the horror.
I need to be on that mission. Why cannot you take care of these bastard heroes? And you see Zeko Khan. Oh, I've offered. But I think he appreciates my magics more than you. And you see Alvarado puts a singular hand all the way around Zeko Khan's throat. Zeko Khan doesn't blink, and you see Alvarado. Unlooses his grasp. Zeko Khan kind of coughs, clears his throat, wipes it. Tell Cortez I will make for El Dorado. But I would be honored to accompany you to the fountain. And you see Zekko Khan kind of smiles. Of course. Perhaps you can finish your errands sooner, and maybe you can come out to play. And you see Alvarado yells in rage, lifts his hand for a strike, but instead of striking Zekko Khan, turns and drives his hand into one of these people on the floor right through their heart. Rips it out. As this poor man crumples, you see the others just crying, screaming. Alvarado holds this still beating heart. Well then, there's only one last thing we have to worry about. You see Zekko Khan. What's that? Alvarado once again looks. What this sensor is doing next to your head, Zekko. And the last thing you see, all of you watch Chel's eye back into her head. As fun fact, he can see the sensor. Yeah. But he let you listen. He wanted you to know he's gonna start hunting you. So Chel, how would you tell the party what you just saw?
That was. I feel like that is what the point of telling ghost stories is supposed to be about, by the way. That was really.
Thank you. I try my best.
There is a
All we need is
vampire
like the lights off and like.
headed to come take care of us. And El Dorado. And it was Alvarez.
Alvarado, Pedro de Alvarado, the conquistador who canonically went to the Mayans, is, fun fact, a vampire who is coming to get you. Yes, Metro Man. And then
I know the name Alvarado.
In fact, Metro Man, you do, as Lord Gregor Alvarado. He's a man you have met.
Wait, wasn't that the dude who killed Lorda?
No, the other guy killed her.
Okay.
That's of the different clan. As Metro Man, you can offer that to the party.
Vampires, I assume you know, are all over the place.
Yeah.
We've been bitten by them before.
Sounds great. Good to know I'm not
That's good way to put it, Elizabeth.
not the only ones who interacted with them.
Before.
Yeah, the Alvarado vampire clan has a rival clan. I forgot what they're called, because that was something Artie told me secondhand, but
House Evermore.
House Evermore.
The Evermores are who was a part of Hordak's death.
Yeah.
He wasn't the cause. He was the one who, though, weakened Hordak, which caused his death.
So,
Tulio and then, yeah, was one.
when we got bamfed to the moon party in that, like, basement, like, during the whole Ilvanor thing, the, like, little vampire coven was doing some ritual to find out something. Is that really, he said my cousin's sources, was that what they were trying to find out, the information that he had?
For this, you met the coven of House Irons, the third. There are 3 covens that, Metro Man, from what you and you guys know, there are 3 covens of vampires, all descendant of one family, these 3 brothers, 3 vampires. Each house... Similar in the idea, but how do I put this? Alistair, Everard, and I forget his name. No, it's not important. Basically, the predecessor of House Irons. Those vampires would be something similar to discover something. It is not. House Irons is not a part of House Alvarado, and you would know, vampire clans, big rivalries. Evermore and Alvarado are the big ones in this world, but when he's talking his cousin, Metro Man, you would be able to assume Lord Gregor, who's in Far, Far Away.
But we don't think that was, like, the same information and they're all looking for Kane or anything, because wasn't this the party that also got the whole, like, Mordred was Kane's grandson and so that he's related to vampires and stuff?
It is.
So we're not getting the vibe of, like, all vampires are looking for Kane, it's just...
Oh, all vampires. Because
they're just not working together.
Yeah.
I will allow a group insight, as there is something big to that extent, right? I mean, you guys are not... We've been bitten by vampires before. There is something really going on in the world when it comes to vampires.
I just wanted to double check because my memory is foggy.
Especially Ramses as a vampire.
Actually,
wait,
that was
is
never
Ramses a vampire?
confirmed.
Son of a bitch.
Could be. You
Didn't
never
we
know.
see the vampires in like our dream state? When we went back in time?
Yeah.
Mordred the vampire, and that's how you learn some of that. Like, Mordred, grandson.
Okay.
Because I'm like trying to like put the pieces together and like I thought it was like
There's a lot of pieces. Yeah, it's that like.
Okay.
That's why I'm allowing this insight check to help put.
21.
Ooh, 21. My God. Did anyone else break 20s?
I rolled badly, so I'm going to use my last lucky to try and get a higher
21,
one.
24.
I got a 13.
13. Well, cool.
Oh, that is much better. And can I guide myself as well?
Yeah, because bonus. Man, rogues.
Excellent.
10.
That'll be a 23 insight.
23, 24, 20. My gosh. There are 3 vampire clans. The Dreamworks vampires. Idris, I knew it was a cool name. Idris, Everard, and Alistair were 3 brothers, had a falling out from kind of what you've picked up from other parties, and each of them sired houses. Vampires very much are, what's the word I want to use? They are huge into lineage, or at least in the Dremor world. True vampires, what we could consider, if you know, the idea of a Strahd level stat block is a true vampire, so a big, well-ingrained vampire. There are creatures that can be vampiric, and there are creatures that can be made by a true vampire, what we would think of as thralls or vampire spawn, right? The ideas of hold, but true vampires there are very few. The Peacekeepers would have told you when you guys fought the Coven of the House of Irons, or the Iron Coven, I can tell you the name, it's not like it's a secret. The Iron Coven is very selective. They are mother to daughter. And it's more than just mother to daughter. You can be born of a vampire and not be made a true vampire unless a true vampire makes you a vampire, right? That, like, through. With what you're noticing, with what you know with the Alvarados, with the Evermores, with Irons, with Mordred, all of these people very much are from Cain.
The idea being that Cain begat Irad, or more specifically, along Cain's lineage at some point. Biblically, if you were curious, this was technically Cain's grandson. Irad became a vampire. Irad, along the line, had 3 sons. And again, sons is a loose term. It's over time. Eventually, he sired 3 sons. And these 3 sons became true vampires. And then from there, each went on to have a house. There is magic when it comes to lineage and true vampire. The idea of a creature born of dark ambition and pact. Miguel, I think you and Bob would have the same idea. Is lineage is important because you know Nephilim exist, they get powers from somewhere. But Bob, the image I'm going to put is, but it's like a vine. It's a family tree. There are no vampires claiming to be descended of Mordred because Mordred is dead. The lore that surrounds this is if a vampire turns a true vampire, you know, not a thrall, not a spawn, not like a, hey, you can now suck blood, but if a vampire makes a true vampire, they are bonded in a deep pact. What could happen if a vampire was killed? Any of its thralls or spawn eventually might die or disappear. You know, you can't hold on to magic. It's like a concentration spell. It's a root. It's a tree. It's bonded. Alvarado, Evermore, and Iron seem to have a very clear line too. And the only problem is, unfortunately, we only killed Maynor in the other party.
Yep.
But Maynor was the end of her line. If a true vampire were to die, its true children would die as well. So if Cain were to ever die,
All of them.
every vampire would die,
So that's why they're all looking for him.
though not
Keep him
connected.
alive.
Yeah. So that if we find him before
Insurance.
anybody else does,
We
make
do
sure.
not want to risk anyone.
Yeah.
Because he's the seal for them, but for vampires, that seal, that pact, whatever mark we're seeing
Just
is
all of them.
vampirism. This sounds
Kane
crazy.
goes-
If Kane goes, there are no more vampires in the world.
Sounds
Ever.
like a good thing to me. Let's break this seal.
Yeah, well, that's
Heavens, it's the second time today.
second time he's offered genocide, or second time he's barked like a seal.
We're gonna see.
Okay, good. I'm like, I was hoping it was the seal.
It's the 4th time for genocide.
Before it was like break the seal, but he was like talking with William about it too, and so like you're gonna give your son nightmares about like killing seals.
Yeah.
Genocide.
And so that's also why maybe you see Pedro de Alvarado is very keen still of getting to the fountain. Because as you guys know, Moses, you've heard this, the Fountain of Youth is kind of like how Moses cracked the rock and summoned forth the fountain. So did Enoch. But it seems that Enoch's fountain was not only the mark of where he made this fountain of water, it's where he met with Cain.
I have a couple now paranoid questions.
No.
I love the paranoid questions, thank you.
Do we need to be worried now that plans have changed because people know we were like scrying, and can we all make active perception checks?
Scry doesn't work both ways.
Okay.
They would have to scry on you. And
So they. Okay.
to almost metagame it, I did not ask any of you to make a wisdom save.
Okay.
If that helps your
Yes,
conscience.
thank
Would they know it was us scrying? Well, Chell scrying on them,
But
or
I
would they
feel
just
like
know
they
that there
could-
was?
That's
a
the whole.
scry?
They might infer like, hey, who would be the people to want to scry on Zekul-Khan?
Yeah.
But again, it's not both ways. So it's the idea of they knew someone was,
But they
But
can't
they-
necessarily backtrack.
they
where we
can't know
are,
where, they
like-
can't know why, they can't know who. It's just we were being watched. That's why I'm saying though it is scary when Chell like Alvarado could see that scry. With some of oh, it's more than just perception. You know, it's an invisible sensor. This dude can see invisibility.
He has a true sight.
His eyes are not naturally red. Whether it's a bit of pack magic or an item, you know, if that helps. So it's that like he knew someone was watching, but it's that idea of I would rather scare whoever's watching than like just stop the scry, because that's even more suspicious of like no, don't look.
LASIK surgery.
Plus, letting us know his plans is an intimidation play.
Yeah.
I'm hunting the
It's
heroes.
like, I don't care that
The
you know
Harbingers
what
are now
I'm
being
doing.
hunted
It's
by
not
To
making a
hunt them
difference.
fast so we
And-
can get to the Fountain of Youth.
very fast.
But is he going just after us then, or is he going after all the heroes? Are we the only ones
Well,
messing
so
up Cortez's
the marching
plans?
orders that we
Yeah.
heard
You actually don't know.
were head to El Dorado.
Which is where you were.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
So it's the idea of, and because yeah, Elizabeth, it's hard to know. Is there any other heroes, other parties?
So we know Alvarado's coming. We have not a lot of time because I doubt we can hide from a vampire lord.
Watch.
So
Sorry.
You not see Elizabeth.
I kind of see two
Kiss it, yes.
Two options.
One, because we gotta solve the Machu Picchu problem, or else Cortez has a huge leg up.
Yeah.
Then all of Pizarro's armies are free again, like you said.
If we take out Pizarro and make his armies flee or whatever, then those machines are just gonna wither and die because no one's feeding them. And it would also give the people in Machu Picchu time to rest and maybe figure out a way to get rid of them faster.
And like the original idea was, and eventually they could be an army. Like again, the idea of the Incans being able to help, so helpful.
Rather than being stuck in a siege.
I want to ask a clarify. Oh, were you still in the middle of your idea? Sorry. You go
Sorry.
first.
And then yeah, we're holding.
But my second thought is we know Alvarado's coming, and we know he has a lot of pride, and he's definitely very butthurt that he didn't get put on the Fountain of Youth mission.
He's mad.
So if we sort of bait him to us into the armies and put a bunch of meat bags between us and him, I don't think he's going to care who he kills to get to us.
Oh, interesting, because I thought the plan was going to be we make the mother of all persuasion checks and be like,
hey, in exchange for you not attacking, we'll help you yoink the Fountain of Youth.
Oh, because the
To be fair though, if he thinks we want to kill Kane, that's never gonna happen. But I also feel like Julia's like, isn't the point that we don't really want to kill Kane because we don't want the world to end?
So I mean, we could piggyback that together.
So there are some parties grappling with that decision of like, there's a lot of
crazy
pros and
stupid
cons for kill
persuasion
Kane and not kill
if
Kane.
that's
And if all things go problematic, I have really good
and you can
fists.
kill things.
So let him go through all the meat bags and then get to us and then try persuasion and if all
I
else
think
fails.
that would be a good thought.
What
But
are we
I
calling
do want to
the
give
bags
it
right now?
the conquistador soldiers.
Yeah. Let him fight through his own men because if he's desperate enough to get rid of us, we can go to the
He'll
Fountain of
just
Youth.
kill
Yeah.
everything in his path.
He really just before.
I would allow. So the last thing is, I know Hannah had a clarifying thing. Probably before we say we will need to take a long rest and watch it soon.
Yeah.
Otherwise, we might have to take a quick exhaustion.
Okay, my
For-
clarifying
yes.
question. I'm
Yeah.
sorry.
No, you're good. I want to make
I
sure
was
we get
teaching
to.
Marissa crochet this week. She's asking me
Ooh,
questions.
fun stuff. Knit one, purl two. Okay. That's
With the
me.
Gabriel once a day, I just want to clarify, is it once per session for us?
More of a once per session.
Okay, I just want to double check
Yeah.
before we do a long rest and then we like
Lose it.
like
Yeah.
we could do Gabriel twice. And so I just want to make sure
Reset our
that I
magic item and
clarified
dawn, yeah.
I clarified my thought processing.
I feel
while
like
it
we
was in my
sleep,
head.
and then when we morning plan attack and everything, it is worth asking whether we can use that loophole of technically it's not
The
like
elementals are not
Cortez or the
conquistadors.
Spanish army and these things. These are like extraplanar
Because
beings.
that's
Like
what I think would be the smart choice, and then
Yeah.
if we can't, I think it would be smart to hold a. Once we've done this, can you help rebuild the
Machu
city?
Pichu, yeah. Because if we can get there, get
so,
there.
like, we should I feel like we ask him in the morning
Yeah.
if that's a thing that he can do legally.
The city with rockets.
Because I can see like technically it's not, but I can see that they're being employed by.
Alright.
August is rolling
So-
dice and it's scaring me.
Yeah.
I
Because
know.
he's already,
I don't
Alvaro's already
like it.
making survival and perception checks to track us down.
I need wisdom saves from everyone.
Oh, he's.
Oh no. Because the three of us are probably bad news bears right now.
Bad news bears.
You said
Oh,
wisdom
no.
save?
Wisdom save.
Do we have a paladin in the group? No, we don't.
No, not this one.
Paladin died. Oh no. 16. 16.
Wait, is it against being charmed or put to sleep? Dang.
We might have to deal with Alvarado first.
Well, guys, it's been nice knowing you.
Most.
We should have taken a long rest a long time ago.
I know. Well, but it was the idea of like, and it makes sense. Like, well, what if we
wanted
scribe?
to
What if we scout? What if we like
before
plan?
we
It's
rested,
a
then we
thing.
wanted
So-
to, yeah.
18.
I rolled a 16, but I'm holding my guidance for like which of the three of us rolls
It
worse.
says 12.
You have.
You have 12.
I had 9.
Okay.
So.
Or do I keep the
I'll
guidance?
roll
and
for
bring
Chell.
that? But I feel like if any of us fail, we all fail, right? Isn't that how this works?
Not
You're doing the
necessarily.
classic mercy,
Scribe,
chop chop.
yes. If it's a scribe, then yes.
So that's a 10 on the die. I don't
Okay.
know what her save modifier is.
Let me do this. So bomb,
You decided.
18.
Yeah.
Elizabeth,
9.
9.
16.
16.
9.
9.
I'll keep my 16 and give Miguel the guidance.
8 don't.
Okay, never mind.
There's.
Okay.
It would be. I mean, yeah, it's not like guidance is something that burns as a cantrip, but I'm like, it's not gonna help.
Dang it. Thanks.
All of you fail.
Yeah, it's pretty bad.
Nothing happens. You just had to make a roll.
Can we do like a perception check to see if we're being scribed? Because now I'm blind.
Do you have any form of see invisibility? It's the only problem with
I have
scribe.
X-ray vision in 120 feet.
Could that be
You
invisible?
do have X-ray
love-
vision.
yeah.
Let me check some of that
Check
racial
your
stat.
wording. Yeah, check your wording.
I have to check the wording on it.
Please let him see this.
I have to make sure because X-ray vision, part of the laser and X-ray vision at level 5, it's a racial bonus. You see, solar matter. It is not a see invisibility.
Okay, just check.
Because it's the idea of if something is visible, you technically see through it. I do remember when this racial ability we were making, it's that like technically
Sounds good.
it's actually really nice, but like invisibility is the idea of well you can't see through also what's not there.
But
Totally makes sense.
atomically, the matter is there.
Atomically matters there, but how do you quantify the atomic matter has been magically vanished?
I don't think so.
Cool.
Wait.
Yeah.
Oh no, I wouldn't. Never mind. I was gonna say maybe I could cast Fairy Fire, but I don't think I'd have any reason to suspect.
Yeah.
The problem with this
Is we don't
is
know.
unless you can see it.
Yeah.
And I will say, I'm not going to say like you can't metagame. There's totally preference for like you guys know like eventually, yeah, we should probably like check for things around us or see if anyone's got some visibility.
Yeah, we just need to set up a watch, and we know that we're gonna have.
Yeah,
I
Mitch
do
Man's
have
on
a
the first.
question.
Yeah.
The amulets that we have, I know they were specifically for angels, right? Is that the purpose of them?
Angels and
Beings from the celestial and the abyssal planes
Vampires
cannot
are not
scry, possess. Oh, because the possession's a big one. That's actually really why you want the amulets, is so that a demon can't go, let me in.
One more time.
Let me in.
Getting ready for my watch.
So Metroman's offering first watch just because, yeah, I mean, you're a little more fresh from the other party.
We didn't have any.
I will say, I need at least 3 other people to keep a watch before we're allowed to
let me
long
check
rest.
what my
I have
perception
a
is.
plus 9.
Moses offered,
Oh, is it plus
Elizabeth.
1 second, let me double check that.
Really?
We need to take a watch.
I have a plus 6 to my
Hey,
perception.
that's
I have a plus
What?
5 in my perception.
You have a plus 12.
So-
Is that like a bardic expertise thing?
Yeah, I think Bob, Elizabeth, Metroman, Moses should then maybe take watch.
only plus 3.
Metroman's going
What
first.
am I saying? My perception's plus 10. I think I expertise to that.
Oh my gosh.
I just forgot.
Never mind, Elizabeth.
So,
you can go to sleep.
well, actually, Moses would be the next
Oh
one.
yeah, you got a plus
So I'll
5.
drop out. For
Drop
And I'll
out.
take your slot.
Cool. Metroman, go first. How do you
Advantage
three?
for superhuman eyes.
Superhuman eyes, that fun little.
Because the first one was a nat 1. We're changing dice.
Again, advantage doesn't mean it's good. It just gives you a
Roll the
chance.
Dumbo dice.
Hey,
That is
proceed.
a 23.
It's always to proceed.
Dumbo.
Your watch goes by really smoothly. Nothing comes up. Nothing happens. Who wants to go next? Tulio, Bob, or Elizabeth?
I can go next.
Okay.
As well.
Elizabeth, you wake up, take a couple hours. Again, something that won't break your long rest, but take the 2 hours to watch.
Alright, so perception, right? Just a 15.
15. Your watch pretty easy as well. Again, the ash settling around the tents, and you guys have made a small fire. Again, you're far enough away that it'd be wild if anything also could find you here, just like on foot. Okay, Bob, and so Tori will finish us off in the morning. All right, Bob.
That is 29.
Okay.
Bob, you see the crickets in the leaves. You see the snake in the underbrush. You see the birds overhead. There are no monsters to attack you, thankfully.
Do you plant seeds along our route?
Do I have any more seeds on?
I think from my counting, I think you are out
I
right
thought
now.
so. Yeah.
Because you've been very smart to plant as you go.
Yeah,
It's that
that's what I
you don't
thought.
hold on, thankfully. So you're pretty good.
While this is kind of going on,
Yeah,
you just have to not be doing any strenuous activities.
exactly. You can do at least 2 hours of I can just kind of chill.
It's really great that you let me sit by you. So
With
I love you too.
2 other Azamar around me, I want to meditate over the staff and see about if there's any prophetic lineage here.
2 other Asmar
Thinking
is
Assassin's Creed like that.
because even though race-wise we're calling superhuman, or we've made that technically still an Azamar, a celestial. Yeah, the idea of Moses, Metroman, do you guys want to make a group?
Is Asmar the same thing as Nephilim?
Yeah, when we say Asmar, it's the idea of Nephilim. If you were a child of Uriel, just born of heaven.
You're a vegetarian. I'm trying to figure out how Adam made the staff.
I love it. You 3, okay. Moses, Metroman, and Bob are going to try to divine a little bit to oracularly see what Moses did with this. Go for it, gang. Make a religion check.
What Adam did with this, you mean?
There's a really ironic thing with the 3 of you praying over the staff that no 3 of you know of.
Who's the 3? Metro.
Metroman, Moses, and Bob are as Nephilim. The idea is, as Nephilim, can we pray over the staff, see how Adam,
Uriel and
Raphael, and Zach.
Oh. And the 12.
that part of
the 3 of the 12.
It's ironic in the sense of something I can't say.
Okay,
So,
cool.
Oh boy.
Here we go.
That doesn't bug
What
any
do we
of
get?
us who love
I
it.
got a 15.
Not even
20.
20.
That is a 22.
22. Tulio does have to be asleep because Tulio's taking the last watch.
Yeah.
22.
If
3
you
of
waited for
you
the morning.
pray over the staff. Kind of take a moment. Each of you feel the spark of creation is gone from within this staff. The wood remains a heritage item of a tree now burned. It is simply a staff broken in two. You try to push a little bit deeper, and you're noticing you're really coming up with not a lot right now. Even with 15, 20, 22, something about the staff seems a bit disjointed. As when that seal broke, it didn't just take away the abilities of the staff, it really did rob it of whatever could have been potential. That's what you guys get. Julia, go ahead and give me the last watch.
And I'm going to bonus action guidance myself.
Smart.
Measure. That is a 28.
A 28, my gosh. Oh, Brody. Okay.
I'm so scared that none of us have seen anything.
Yeah.
Not a thing.
Although,
Don't like it.
that makes me just wonder if we're just allowed to actually get some sleep tonight, which would be very nice.
The only thing that really happens tonight is I need Shell to make me a wisdom saving throw.
The rest of us all had
He's
things
about to scry on me.
I think you were in the other room.
Moses did make it for you at the time.
Oh, so this is a separate thing?
This is a scrying. He's trying to scry on me.
No, unless this is the thing like he pulled with Adora and Elvenor. Yeah.
Yep. Okay, cool. Get your dice ready.
Can I guide you, sir? Can any of us help?
This is something happening while she is asleep.
14.
Oh, yeah.
Interesting. Okay. I like it.
I don't.
On a
It
14,
doesn't pass.
something will happen. Chill as you sleep away. Your mind is pulled in many different directions, and I would ask you, a bit of a thought came here. What do you think Chell is thinking of before she falls asleep?
Probably she's split between like the stress of tomorrow, that she's probably having that thought of the bodies. That was quite what I was jarring, trying to push that to the back.
I try not to be too gross, but it's that
But
like
that
it's
was jarring.
very it's that like that's a horrific thing to
And
have
then
to
just
see.
probably assuming that Tulia's letting her spoon him, or
Yeah.
be spooned by him. I don't know. I'm not sure. Maybe she is the big
She's
spoon.
definitely the big
But
Tulia
I'm just
is-
hearing Tulia's heartbeat and thinking of the heart. That's probably like
It's that like
worry of your
Small
people you love.
what normally is a
Hate.
comforting that ba-bum,
Yes.
ba-bum feeling
It's
that
more,
it terrifying to see a
Yes.
still beating heart out of a body.
Yes,
The mind
that's exactly
naturally
what it
reacts
is.
to that.
yes.
Chill.
Yeah.
Boom.
Any racial things that give you like advantage on saves or
I
anything?
was trying to find. I couldn't remember. Let me look. One more sec.
Boom.
If you will let me. I started to look and then it was Nin.
Well, I have my d20s and d12s with
Why
me.
not? I just really want you to
I
have
know. Because I thought something, but it might be another character because it's been so long since I played her.
Night.
Chill. You don't feel the beat.
When I miss a thing, I get to roll a thing.
What?
Hold on.
What?
What's the
Oh, it's an ability check.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Saving throws.
Saving
Alright,
throw.
I figured that one out last time.
I was
like,
surprised I didn't need a
but-
paladin, but we had a paladin and you killed her.
It was a
played that
noble
last.
sacrifice. It was good.
I might have to triple
Chill. You don't feel the beating heart of Tulio anymore.
No!
As immediate, when your mind recognizes this, you sit up and do not see anyone in the party.
Shoot, Dave.
You are in a blank
Dream
area.
state. Yeah.
The
Nightmares.
ground is just as corporeal as the sky, where you barely see that odd, semi-translucent vision of your own
Is this
feet
the
below
dream
you.
spell?
Shall you look around, and off in the distance, you see nothingness. Not the absence of, like is all around you, but you see what could only be described as a singularity.
Oh no.
Something void of all light,
So this is
of all
related
sound,
to
like a
Dax's thing.
rift
'Cause they're both
stretching
empty.
both infinitely high and only a few inches. A singularity, a black hole, a cut in everything. And shall you hear your voice, chow, 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 whispered on the wind.
Whose voice is it, August?
You've heard this voice only once before in your life. Chow, 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 chow. And you're realizing it is mimicking a heartbeat pattern. Your voice, your name, chow, 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 chow. The voice is beckoning you forward, you think.
Do I recognize it from anything?
This is a voice you heard long ago when you were at the steps of a temple as someone caught stealing from a god's altar. This is a voice you heard the day you became a warlock.
This is your patron in D&D.
This is Andy. I wondered, but then I was confused. Okay,
The only
okay,
these
okay,
guys have the same
okay,
faces.
okay. I was actually thinking that, so I
Like a
feel
lot
less
of
dumb.
it.
I felt dumb for a second. Okay.
Don't feel dumb at all. There's a lot to be found here. The singularity is close. You feel
So
that
this is where all the gods are hidden.
possibly. Do you want to approach it?
Yeah, plenty.
You approach.
I need answers.
You realize it is both a combination of your feet moving you forward and both space and time itself that seems to draw you close to this rift. Upon being near it, you sense golden light, the middle of the singularity like a cat's eye, a blinking dot focused at you, very much like your own eyes look when you were doing the scrying spell. Something looks out at the singularity, out of the void, and shall you feel, for a brief moment, warmth, comfort, even in the nothingness around you. Shall I have a great work for you.
I've been trying to reach you. And I didn't mean that to sound accusatory, just confused if you have a great word. Fine. I've been typing in to reach you.
Because I did not want to be reached. I am a being of sacrifice. Are you willing to sacrifice?
Most anything.
Then I can help you do most anything. Shall there are those that watch you. There are those that see you. There are those that would use you. You have an influential role. You walk amongst prophets and heretics. You walk amongst the celestial and the damned. There is something you can do if you would let me.
But I think it was that wordplay.
Say more.
The
You
parallelism of
say more. You feel, again, you are not moving anymore. You are steadily closing into
Because I'm
this.
very hesitant. Shall would be very hesitant to make an agreement before knowing the terms and or making sure it's empty.
What do you see? when you look upon me as this giant void and I kind of like looking at the singularity with the dot in the middle, what do you see?
Am I sure this is empty?
I think you are 99.9% sure. Passive insight.
I see warmth. I see the means of creation. The means of our survival. And I see gold.
Good. And you, in this moment, will recognize challenge. Your name, that heartbeat, it's not being spoken by Inti. There are two voices in this singularity. Challenge, that are beating out your name. Do you allow me to show you? Will you sacrifice to let me show you?
Sacrifice what? My deity.
What are you willing to give?
This is one of those name your own price deals. I like it.
Looking to see what I have.
Sacrifice Tulio.
No. That's why I'm asking.
I was a little worried if it weren't Jill choice thing, because like I didn't go to sleep right after. I'm like, I don't want to wake up dead.
Shell over your body in the night.
Right? That like
That's funny.
I can see like the relationship, maybe not the person.
It's the idea of what are you willing to give up? I'm being very
Johnny
open with
smells.
that.
What?
it's a College Humor reference.
There's a warlock in a Let's Play that
And his whole warlock
his pact was he was not allowed to ever have sex. As kind of the joke of this greaser who was like a womanizer, everything, and so his warlock patron was like, "Here's my deal for you. You can't." He was a bad guy. Don't worry. Like, and so it was the funny. So when the party learns, it's like, so he didn't fuck. Yeah, he did. And like,
Yeah, they like killed him and then mocked him forever.
yeah, but like, what a like terrible villain. Like, this was your pact. Chell.
It could be worse.
What are you willing to give up? What are you willing to sacrifice?
I don't have a lot.
Yeah. Well, you don't have a lot on character sheet. And I think, because I would say your mind would immediately go to your companions, but of course I'm not human. Again, you saw Zekul Khan who thirsted for blood in that idea. You know that is not what sacrifice always is, right? Sacrifice is also the throwing of gold into the Shibolban whirlpool. Like, that's sacrifice. It takes so many forms. But I think your mind is going of, well, but I do have access to things that maybe aren't yours yet, but you could give.
I could give you all the gold I have in my possession, which is 15 pieces, but... No.
Gold's gone.
Oh, okay. Do you require more?
I can give you 15 seconds. That's for the next 15 seconds. Your eyes burn gold. You feel yourself rise. For just a moment, you are pushed away from the singularity as you see creation. You see a world forming. You see gods emerging from people's love, adoration, fears. You see the pantheon of the Amazonians. You see these people moving out. You see Viracocha, the creator god, creating the vast jungles, building up these grand natural states, gods forming around him. You see Inti forming on his shoulder, and you see each of these gods stepping forward, not out of nothingness, but out of people themselves. You see gods walk out of mortal men. And in these 15 seconds, you see so much and yet so little as Viracocha picks people.
Viracocha?
Viracocha, the creator god of the Incans, of the Amazonians. Viracocha picks. Inti was not one of these, but you see people step forward and become godlike.
Is that the other voice? Would I recognize?
You hear those two voices. Challenge. Challenge. Your vision ends. 15 seconds is not a lot of time. I was keeping track. You hear Inti. I can grant much, and much must be granted. It is the design of my patron that I stay. But it is not the will of fate that the prayers of the people go unheard. Chill. And you are being awakened by the party. Chill. Like someone kind of pushing.
So those two voices, August.
Two voices.
Viracocha?
You were talking to Inti.
Yes.
You heard two voices. I will let you. I wish I brought a box of doom. You can make me a history check. It's a history check, not so much of you've never heard these voices before.
I will give you a bardic.
This isn't a religion check?
Well, it would be a different DC. I could see it being religion.
How's your religion?
What's your religion check?
My history's -1, my religion is +3. Neither are great.
Well, so if you're going with religion, it's still plausible, but it is a DC 20. Versus a DC 17.
So either.
Well, technically your religion's better. So,
By one.
Yeah.
Take
a bardic.
Yep.
The bardic is a D8.
8.
If we're allowed to help now, can I have guidance as well?
Guidance, yeah.
So a D8 from her, a D4 from me.
I'll roll those first. Didn't do great there, but that's okay.
I feel that, yeah.
A 1 and a 2.
So she's adding 7 to this?
No, I'm at
No.
4.
Well, but is
Four,
this the
then you're-
religion
yes,
one?
So, and that 13 or higher.
Doesn't do it. 11. It's an
11
ability check. I can add a +4.
Talisman.
Or
D4.
D4.
You could.
Hang on.
Oh,
hang
you
on.
roll on the D4.
I need to roll a pure luck check.
11.
Did
plus-
Moses give the talisman back after
Hold on.
last night?
11 plus 6 is
Yep,
16.
it was in a
It
low
was
character
11 plus 7,
interaction.
right?
She
'Cause
said
11 plus
that.
7 is 18,
Oh,
right?
1
Didn't I
and
make it?
3.
11 plus 7 is 18. It's a DC 20 if we're going to...
Oh, we
But
talked
you
about this.
have your
Depending
I
on
need
how
to make
this
a pure
goes.
check.
possible.
Did you remember to get your talisman back from Moses?
Yes, I actually physically went like this, and whenever he said what was that, I said, I
Okay.
took my talisman back. He was like, what?
I just had to confirm.
Thank you. That was very,
A
very nice.
D4,
All right.
2 or higher.
We could do it.
You got
You got
this.
this, babe.
It's a 2.
A 20 exactly.
Oh my gosh.
Oh my gosh.
Joe, I love how this is going to be phrased. Maybe it's the morning light, or maybe it's your
Maybe.
friends waking you up. In that stumbling, when Tulio and Miguel is shaking, like your eyes bleary, blinking, dawn stretching behind Tulio and Miguel's head, that idea of, oh, these fake gods, your mind does go to the voices. Wherever Inti is, it's where the Incans are. It's where their gods are, the Amazonian gods.
Do we not know where the Incan people are right now?
The Incan people, or you know where the Incan people are. I misspoke when I said
Incan gods.
the gods. There are 2 gods. There were 2 voices you heard that were not Inti in there.
Vera?
Not Viracocha.
It was those two, wasn't it?
What 2 gods would want to reach out to you?
Death?
No, it's the ones we impersonated.
Azar.
I don't
If
remember their
not
names.
the gods
Oh.
that were being impersonated.
The earthquake dude and the home and hearth dude.
Uh-huh.
Wasamayuk and Pachamaka.
So they're mad at me.
No, they're not
Mad
us.
at us.
The
Well,
voices didn't sound mad.
oh.
In fact, unfortunately, because you chose a religion instead of an insight, I will say it's going to be hard to remember. The voices just really wanted to talk to you.
Oh. They haven't had a way to talk to their people in a long time.
Viracocha decided to seal the Amazonian gods away.
And so by giving a voice to them, it was like we gave a belief to them, which is the most that they've had in a long time.
And Inti gave you a very particular vision
Because you said something about gods coming out of them.
Men.
out of the people
Is
themselves.
this like
Us.
gods could possess us if we agreed to a thing?
Oh.
It's
Is
not
it out of
possession.
the people as
It's
in
tough
like
to
a
be a
being?
god.
Well,
It's
I
not
wondered if, like,
possession. It's what is it called when you became
Wait,
a
is it
trick
kind
or
of-
Avatars.
Okay, so that's
Vessel.
kind of like in Ricardo's Red Pyramid.
Oh, like
how
the
Carter,
Avatar.
Yeah.
or
I
is
don't
it like
think-
Is it that they become gods because people believe in them, and so then ergo they become a god?
What's Cortez trying to do?
He's trying to make
become
himself
a
a god.
Yeah. Which
So,
we knew
How
that.
close
though.
were we to actually becoming gods is the question.
Becoming vessels.
Once again, I will say, in the true DreamWorks canon, from what I believe, that movie was very clear in the fact that there are no gods here, it's what people make. We are in a world of magic and monsters and gods and devils. You have two people pretending to be gods that have not been here for a long time. There's a lot of belief stacked in that. And two gods are trying to reach out to Chell, and that last word, the prayers of my people will not go unheard.
Was that their voices or Inti's? That
Yes.
Oh.
On a 20 religion check, why would two gods want to talk?
That's so sad.
All of you awaken to the sounds of the jungle.
Did we all get a
Chell,
long rest?
you did get a long rest.
Oh, this is gonna be a horrible breakfast conversation.
well, okay.
So you can share that dream.
Oh yeah.
And we only have a few minutes left in this session.
Oh, I didn't realize.
Yeah, we're getting close. But what would be the plan? I mean, we know
Why does mine say 4 slots? Is that a thing at level 9?
at level 9 4 spells? What?
I don't know. It's being funky wonky.
You're a warlock.
But it says 2 in long and 2 in short.
So
But I think it's a FL.
I'll explain.
Okay.
So just kind of ignore that one because warlocks can get spell slots back after short rest. It's saying level 4 spells because all your spell slots as a warlock are level 4. Everything you cast is a level 4, but you only have 2 slots. That's what the 2 is for.
Right.
Yes.
But I'm actually level 5 now.
Okay.
Okay, well,
So,
well,
so
yes,
ignore.
But-
So
ignore that. It's you
I
have
don't
2 spells a
know
day.
why long rest spell slots are saying level 4 and short
Yeah,
rest
I
are
don't
saying level
either.
5. Can you do like another long rest and
can-
see if your character
Do like
should
yeah,
take
see if
off?
it writes
Yeah.
it. If not, yeah.
So, I'm having a hard time wrapping my head around what Chell thought.
Oh, good, because if it was obvious, it would be.
Oh yeah, that's gonna be.
So basically, Inti
Well, no, like,
was, I'm not gonna try. Our gods,
well, don't do that manually because it might.
we're all reaching out to Chell.
Okay, it doesn't.
Trying
You, Inti was talking to Chell,
Yeah,
and Chell was being heralded
And the
by
other two as well.
Pachacamic and Wasikamayuk.
Okay, so
Okay.
manually.
And we know that
Zero.
Inti was saying that he was
I guess
very
0
upset at
says,
the
and I'm
fact
just gonna
that
do this.
they had no connection to their people, to their believers right now.
Yeah.
So whether that means that he's very mad at
We're doing it long rest.
Viracocha.
I'll just leave him
Viracocha.
there. Long rest.
Yes.
Okay.
does that mean that
Okay,
he's
sorry.
trying to start that connection again through Chell? And then is there something else that Tulio and Miguel have to do to help that? And if so, is there something that we can do with the Incans because they worship Tulio's god?
Pachacamic is huge. Bob knows
Yes.
this. I mean, talk to Gabriel.
So, could we summon the power of Pachacamic through a religious ritual?
Now, here's the thing. That's a bit of Minorith knowledge. Not
I
bad.
know.
But it's the
that was
idea
me
if
trying
you
to figure out
could
what's
get
going on.
into Machu Picchu to speak with. I mean, Bob saw it. There's temples there, meaning there are clerics and priests and paladins. There's orders probably of
Right.
Pachacamic, specifically, and Apis, the god of the mountains, right? Of earthquake. and
Right.
That's 2 big religions that you, if you want to go like check in. I mean, you're only a mile away, and here's what's awesome. Now that you have Metroman, you have someone that you don't have to stealth through the lines if you're willing to just take time and go over them.
towns like buy things towns?
The only town maybe to buy things right now would be Machu Picchu. Anything else has probably been either destroyed or leveled on the warpath.
I mean, should
I
first
know,
order
but
of
we have
business,
Nana's
if
person,
this
I
is like
just-
the planning meeting in the morning,
More planning.
should we start by asking Gabriel about the
Yes.
giant elemental god things? Like, can he take care of those?
Would you like that to be Gabriel's once a session?
Yeah.
If he
Well,
can,
is he
I think.
able to?
Yeah.
Here's the thing. It's always a possible dice roll. In talking with Gabriel, what Gabriel would tell you through just your head. He's not gonna like physically. He's everywhere
Yeah.
right now. It's harder because these are creatures bound under the protection. I mean, these are basically soldiers for Pizarro.
Even if they're drafted.
Even if it's drafted, I mean, it might not be the same thing as like the other soldiers, but it's that like it would be a harder difficulty for him to truly enact change because these are creatures bound in servitude to Cortez.
But, I mean, if we stacked him with Bardics and Guidance, would that help?
This is a D100.
Oh.
Most of Gabriel's stuff is D100.
My other thought, I know that's what we wanted to do, but if it's such a tough role, could we have him do anything about our friendly vampire friend?
About Alvarado?
Like delay him, attack him, do something that way that we have even more
Wouldn't
time.
it be bound
Punch out his
by the
teeth.
same thing though? Because Alvarado is technically.
He's under Cortez
Yeah.
as well, even more.
Because
direct
Alvarado is
elementals.
directly, he's
Yeah. so
one of
if
the
anything, it
top
might be
lieutenants, if not
harder.
his second in command, right?
Yeah.
Also,
Oh,
I mean,
sorry, I guess I misunderstood
yeah, no worries.
the connection
Wait.
between who the god, whatever divine army is. I guess I didn't realize it was Cortez. I just thought you meant it was like
Cortez and his army
I
all
see.
march
It
under
wasn't
the
there.
banner of
Yeah.
heaven. It's
Okay.
this is a crusade for them. It's honestly why they've been allowed to do such atrocity. I mean, that's usually history of like you
Yep.
put religion in your name, and it's the idea of like, oh, you shouldn't be excused just because you're saying you're doing this in the name of a god. Like that's Greek. The Greeks knew that too, right? Look at how many monsters go. I do this because my dad is Poseidon, and well, right? Like it's bad.
Hey, why that one specifically?
Well, I was more thinking of Antaeus, some of the like giants and Cyclops, and
Father of monsters.
he's got a rep.
I was just kidding.
I know. So it's not like
They're monsters.
it's the same thing where anything you're trying to do to mess up Cortez's armies, it's harder for Gabriel to get an exact one-to-one of your. It's not like a wish either, right? It's not like, oh, this is what you're trying to accomplish. Let me see what I can do.
And then do we do something that's not such a hard... I mean, we can always try to do a hard roll, and I don't see any harm in doing that. I'm just saying if we're going to only use it once a day, do we use it on a hard roll? Or do we do it on something that, like, will be more likely?
I would say we're at the end of the session anyway, and
Yeah.
I think that this would be something that could pay off in a huge way.
It could pay off in a huge way if it works.
Nobody, as far as I've heard, has a specific
The
idea.
only other thing is
The
giant
only-
belt
well,
strength.
A belt of some sort of giant strength because it allows Chell to really start.
But this, if it pays off, would be huge.
The other thing that was I would even point out is if you're trying to get more information on this idea of like godly intervention or whatever could come from Pachacamac and the Incans in Machu Picchu, is if you head to Machu Picchu and ask Gabriel for some guidance into that of like what is this trying to represent?
That's fair.
Like, hey, because that's in no way related to
Right.
Cortez and his armies. Like
So
that would
then,
have a much different.
Out of those two choices, trying to get, admittedly, a hard roll to try and nullify the fire elementals, or we could try and use Gabriel's knowledge or insight or whatever to try and figure out more about the Incan gods situation. Which we think would be more beneficial? Because I think that either one could be
I
really
think
good.
the Incan God thing might be more of a...
Attainable.
Well, no, I'm going to say it might be more of a mid-session next time to metagame it a little bit just because we're
Oh,
more
that's
worried
smart.
about... Because if we can destroy this now,
That's
then that can
fair.
help us plan for our next grouping, our next
That's
session
very
versus...
smart.
I would also offer this. It's a harder thing. If you can take out the fire elementals now, that's huge. We would immediately start a multi-session initiative combat. Because the second those are down, it's all-out war. We are no longer in a siege war of attrition. It's do or die for both sides. there will be no chance for any gods, belts, talking with Gabriel, Metro Man stuff, Moses figuring out staff, Elizabeth gaining weapon. Like, not in a bad way. It's just that, like, I want to put that as a DM of, like, it's very helpful if you can stop the elementals, but that, and I'd say multi-session initiative of war.
So then, do we do the gods thing for our prep this session, and then save the Hail Mary, Hail
For next
Gabriel
time.
For next
towers
time
thing
before.
for next one?
There might be
Or, and again, or the belt thing is also one of those more attainable ideas. It's because there really is no wrong idea when these once a session Gabriel things are being thrown around, because, like, he can do a lot.
I
in
like
theory.
the idea of the theology thing now, and potential fire elemental
We
later.
can do the belts another time. I mean, shall we want you to
No, I know, but I
multi-class
think
thing?
that there's more important things.
Yeah, unfortunately,
That was
there
very
are.
much if we don't have anything else going
Joe,
on.
just next time you're in combat, look around the battlefield and be like, who looks tough? You, and just go kill them and see if they got a belt.
I thought you were gonna say.
What I'm hearing is like
Don't
my
consult
next
the
be
party
and
at all,
find a
just
belt.
look at
That's
the
what I
initiative.
said.
Gabriel,
I need a belt.
and just like lock and
But I
load.
heard that you just gave me permission to my next be and find a belt at the same time.
No. Alright. You would like to ask Gabriel some insight into the gods.
Yes. Do we want to do that at the temple?
If you want to do it at the temple, it might help.
Yeah.
If you want to ask Metro Man to help start flying people there.
Yeah. Are you willing to make multiple trips?
I mean, yeah.
Thank you.
That's why Metro Man's dubbed this whole campaign. We're for
Yeah,
parties.
I've been the ferryman.
Fun.
Do they thank you and
So we
tip
should
you?
call you Kara.
Sometimes.
Okay.
Poe trains with
More
you
so-
already.
Yeah,
I don't know. Yeah.
it's more so Bo made me noodles.
Yeah, Poe. They will pay you in food and love.
And love.
You guys can fly in over to the
You sound
temple.
like a stray cat.
As you guys approach,
Pay me
But okay.
and love.
Bob, you would notice as you guys are lighting down, and like all of you would notice in these multiple trips, Incans are gathering quickly. Okay, let me pull up. Man, it's been a while since I've thought about this NPC.
Oh
my gosh, it is.
That was adorable.
What is that face for?
Okay.
No, never. It is clean. I cleaned it this
Oh,
morning.
Dang.
I know. I was very
So
That was a Friday job, Thursday
for
job,
you.
somewhere in
do you
there.
take a charge?
You see a young man appears out of the crowds of soldiers, people, and you see again these earthen jossi. They are prepping like mold herbs. Like a couple of them, they're coating their hands in like granite with spikes on it, that like melee style. Until a man walks forward. I am Prince Atahualpa, leader of the Incans. Who are you?
The Harbingers.
You see, he nods because again, you guys did fly in with Metro Man. You see,
Can Chell pull the whole "we're sent by the gods" card to like help?
you could.
Yeah.
Kind of are.
We very much are.
very
We just
much.
won't specify which gods.
Your
because
invisible
they're
hand.
technically.
Yeah. Come in peace to you.
We've been sent by the gods.
Yes.
Come peace. You see, Atahualpa. Thank you for your arrival. I had heard rumors from my scouts that gods from the Eldoradans were coming, but we did
Can
not.
I say what are the two names?
Pachacamic
Pachacamic and
Wasiamayuk.
Wasiamayik. Hear your prayers.
You say that very carefully. They hear your prayers. Crap. Almost everyone in the crowd drops to their knees, openly weeping, and start praying to Tulio Miguel.
Okay, but we
For
gotta
me,
get
just kind of standing in the background, just like.
I think I'm gonna like
Just
say
over.
something about how we need to visit our temples to gather our power. And then
Atahualpa is one of the few not bound. You see, not like out of respect, but out of just like maybe exhaustion.
Yes,
Um,
shock,
he-
yes.
Yes, your worshipness. We can take you to your temple. Wasiamayuk, I offer my sincere sacrifice and apology for not having a temple built to
I'm
you.
going to put my hand on his shoulder. It is time for you to rest.
You see, he's if that is your will, he immediately lays on the ground and goes like,
Oh.
As we know, if he's that tired, it's probably good.
Yeah.
As we're going to the temple, I just kind of want to like start to lift people up a little bit as we're going.
here we go.
Doesn't have morale.
You are greeted. A man walks forward. I am Oskolo, High Priest of Pachacamac. You see he kneels down. He pulls out a offering of fruits, places at your feet. We have long prayed for the god's intervention. Good. It should.
Making me sad in the dream, it's making me sad in real life.
You are brought to
I don't know if I feel
Pachacamac's
like,
temple.
you know what I mean.
As Adahopa is carried off by his servants to go sleep. As, hey, when a god gives you permission to sleep, yeah,
You
took it.
sleep.
No one's gonna say, hey!
You're not allowed. Oh,
I bet he
damn.
slept like a baby. After that. If God
Have
told me, hey,
you ever heard the expression sleep like a log?
Yes, sir.
That's an expression that the Eldoradans would say. He is sleeping like a rock.
yes.
Love that.
This dude is just.
Yeah, no, babies don't sleep, guys. I'm sorry. They don't sleep.
It is the
That's
stupidest
fair.
expression.
You are
That is
brought to this
very fair.
temple. Beautiful terrace steps, not a full pyramid. Like the Aztecs and Mayans love those, but this like beautiful stepped, low-lying building that enters deeper underground. Oskolo brings you all down. We are honored by a god's presence and the acolytes of such god in our holy temple. As he brings you all the way to this basement, you see a grand visage of a figure, both hands raised overhead, with a mountain being broken in half, almost like one breaking a melon, letting the rock rain down around. The god of the Earthshaker would be a tremendous boon to us. As you are here, would you like to call on Gabriel and try to get some insight?
Yes. Let's do that.
Okay, this is a much.
Make
The
sure
one
that the
dude, because I don't
room
think
is-
You
you
wanna-
can see Gabriel.
okay.
Hold on, what was that, Bob? Yeah.
I was gonna say clear the room first.
Yes.
I would say easy enough. You can tell Oskolo, give us the room. I mean, like in El Dorado, it's like,
Yeah.
oh, gods want the. You're not gonna say no to a god. Here we go.
Watch me.
This is
I say
a
no to you guys all the time.
gonna be an interesting chick.
What did you
Can we see it?
Yeah, you can. That's why I rolled in for the board. It's a 94.
Yo, my God.
This might work.
Gabriel will appear. This is very dangerous.
I know.
But you like it.
No, I don't. This is dangerous for everyone.
Sounded like you were
It's
flirting.
okay, just don't get your halo on.
Oh, I thought it sounded like
These gods, you see, he
Challenge.
points at
it's
Pachacamac.
funnier if it was.
These are not like the other gods. They were not born of true will. They were born of devotion.
Yes.
You see, Pachacamac said, "This is.
Oh my God.
There's no going back." I'm telling you to make
You
it.
commit to this.
This is more than just a commitment. And I would actually say, is everyone ready for a big thing?
Yes. Ish.
Yes.
Gabriel will offer the insight. Trials will await, but you would come out the other side deified. Or as much as you can with the gods still sealed away.
That's so dope.
This was low-key one of Miguel's goals.
The actual god? Yeah.
I
Again, it's not like you're going to be an actual god, but
that's
it's
what
as
you
a no,
No?
a god. You would become Pachacamac on the mortal plane to a certain extent. And again,
That's
D&D wise, it's not like you're gaining a crap ton of levels. It's not like you're gaining a different class, and it's not that the
You
end
just
goal.
have the followers.
You would have the followers. You would have the power. I have specific boons set up for this, specifically with the Incan gods. There's no going back. And again, the way this ends is you either give it all up, you give up the, I don't want to say charade, because at some point it's not a charade.
Yeah.
Or you somehow kill the actual gods that exist and think Speed Force wise, you gain all the power for yourself.
I don't really want to kill any more gods. We don't have to.
I know.
Yeah,
Unless
we're
it's
gonna
Michael.
put that
I'm okay
on
with killing
the
Michael.
back burner.
I love that.
Okay. Ready?
I feel like,
As a lever beat.
can we make eye contact? I feel like this is a big thing. That
It's not big.
Julia
You ready to
and
be the god? I think that'll be okay.
You see, before you have even finished agreeing this idea of, yes, Gabriel's gone, the room is dead quiet.
That's
The
not
statue
nerve-wracking.
turns its head upward down, looks at Tulio. All of you feel a tug inside your bodies as you are pulled deep underground. Blinking, suddenly you look around and you are in a plane and dimension you've never been to before. Earth and rock, geodes and crystals all arising into multicolored light around you. Before you stands a strange stone mephit, these impish-like creatures. Crystal grows across his body, almost like an alien. As this mephit speaks, you hear reverberating slightly in your minds, "Welcome to the trial of the gods. I shall be your caretaker, your guide, and, when needs be, your mortician." As the mephit says this is where we're going to end tonight's session.
Oh my god.
Thank you all so very much for playing. Thank you all for listening. I will see you all next time.
So they have to.
Oh.
So with some